This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group. Now let's take you live to the field and our play-by-play team.
Let's go do it. Let's go do it.
It's high school football on the Q92 Sports Network, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Football, catch the fever.
From Robert Fife Stadium, it's time for high school football, playoff style, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92. Good evening, I'm Clint Scroggs along with Brian Beatty and Ryan Bevere as we get set for the fifth seed Canton McKinley Bulldogs at 7-4, taking on the homestanding 4 seed Jackson Polar Bears at 8-3. Jackson broke a 17-game losing streak to McKinley with a 20-7 victory in Week 9 at Canton. They'll have to do it again tonight. They beat Brunswick in round 1 of the playoffs last week, 24-3. Canton McKinley with a win last week against Parma Normandy by a score of 49-7. After a bit of a slow start, it was 14-7 after 1, but the Bulldogs dominated after that. And with that 17-game winning streak, the Bulldogs lead the all-time series 23-4, 2-0 in the playoffs. They last played in the postseason 3 years ago. McKinley winning the second round matchup 62-28. Jackson has never been to the third round of the playoffs. That would happen if they win tonight. The winner faces the Mentor Strongsville winner next week in a regional semifinal. Lots of games tonight. It's another Score 7 Friday night here on Q92, and we'll have the two coaches of these teams a little bit later, but first we'll hear the previews of all those games that we'll have for you on Q92 and WDPN AM 1310. Stay tuned. Jackson and McKinley coming up. Playoff action. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
It's week 2 of the OHSAA football playoffs as the number 3 seed Nordonia Knights welcome in the number 6 seed Green Bulldogs. Nordonia last week took down Solon 38-6 in the matchup between 3 and 14. They have now won their last 3 after suffering back-to-back losses against Wadsworth and Hudson. So far this year, it has been quarterback Ben Chester leading the way with over 1,400 yards passing, 13 scores, and over 100 QBR, and over 750 yards on the ground, adding on an extra 13 scores. Rocco DiLorenzo mans the backfield as the running back, 125 carries, 803 yards, and 10 touchdowns. As for Green, they are led by junior quarterback Tyson Honka and wide receiver Antonio Martin. Last week, they took down Riverside Painesville 35-14 as the Beavers end year one of the post-Mikey Maloney era. Their last loss was a 49-21 game against Uniontown Lake, who they could face again in round 3 if the Blue Streaks take down Archbishop Hoban. It's Nordonia and Green live at Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I am Nathan Smee.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
It's round 2 of the Ohio High School football playoffs, and tonight that brings us back to Beloit, Ohio, where the 4-seed West Branch Warriors will be hosting the very tough 5-seed Cleveland Glenville Tarblooders, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Glenville comes into tonight's game after a round 1 victory over Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, 47-20. The Tarblooders finished the regular season 7-3. But this is a Division IV program that played up almost the entire year, playing Division I, Division II, and Division III schools, including a win over Lakewood St. Ed's in Week 6, led by their junior running back, Chris Newell Jr., who rushed for 163 yards and scored 4 touchdowns last week in round 1 of the playoffs against Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. And the offense is run by their sophomore quarterback, LaMarcus Greenwood II. Glenville relies on their running attack and their very staunch defense to get the job done, under the leadership of legendary high school coach Ted Ginn Sr. The West Branch Warriors come into tonight's game still undefeated, 11-0, after taking care of Hubbard 31-6 in round 1 of the playoffs last week. In that game, Jeremiah Thomas, their junior quarterback, left the game with a lower leg injury. But sophomore quarterback Grady Hurst came in and led the Warriors the rest of the way. Jeremiah Thomas will be back in the lineup tonight against Glenville, and he'll be looking to run this high-powered offense. West Branch has done it in the air and on the ground this season. with Boston Molnix, the senior tailback, running for over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns, and Jeremiah Thomas through the air, throwing for 1,900 yards with 29 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. West Branch does not turn the ball over. They'll also need their 2 leading receivers, Joey Jackson and Anthony Perry, to step up. They each have 12 touchdown catches on the season. This is going to be a fun game. The high-powered West Branch offense against the physical Glenville defense. And you can hear it all tonight right here on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live at Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I'm Christian Bigglesworth.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Sure, we're all about Stark County, but did you know we have express fixed routes to Akron and Cleveland? Just take Route 81, that's Akron, or Route 4 to Cleveland. Shop, eat, sightsee, catch a game, or visit that other Hall of Fame. We also take veterans to their Wade Park appointments for free. Plan your next trip to Akron or Cleveland, and SARTA will get you there. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
Round 2 of the Division II Region 7 playoffs tonight at Sunbury Big Walnut as the Perry Panthers at 6-5 visit the 10-1 Big Walnut Golden Eagles tonight. Perry has had an up and down season, but they found something here in recent weeks. A big Week 9 win over Green and a Week 10 win over Glen Oak has propelled them into the playoffs, winning last week at Columbus Northland 34-6. It's been running back by committee offensively this year. Caleb Hunley, Kyson Walker, as well as many others have found roles in this offense, but Connor Shepard has been the leading rusher season-wide for the Perry Panthers. Zach Slates has also boasted a really great defensive group this year in what has been a up-and-down tenure at Perry, but this season the team has come together at the right time, entering this game 6-5, and as I said, on a 3-game winning streak. As for Sunbury Big Walnut, a Week 1 loss to a quality opponent in Bishop Watterson from Columbus, a team that many feel is the top team in Division III high school football here in the state of Ohio. But Nolan Burley, their outstanding running back, who has over 1,300 yards rushing and leads their offense, will be a tall task tonight for the Perry Panthers. We'll see who is able to come out on top tonight in a battle of two teams that will look to run the football first. It's Perry at Sunbury Big Walnut tonight, and we'll have it for you on Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I'm John Bozica.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio. featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at Sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Back here for week 2 of the 2024 OHSAA football playoffs, and we're talking with the head coach of the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, Antonio Hall. His team victorious over Parma Normandy last week. And Coach, before we get into this week's matchup with Jackson, a little bit about last week's game. A 14-7 lead after the first quarter. Your team kind of took off from there, and talk about how they played against a team that you probably didn't know a whole lot about.
No, honestly, really didn't know much about them. But, the focus, like every week, is about us and what we have to do, not necessarily about who we're playing. And last week was just about getting better at our fundamentals, getting better at executing the details, just getting better all the way around. And I'm just proud how they bounced back. Week 10, it's an emotional week. No matter, win or lose, it's just hard to get centered and get focused that next week. And I think our guys did a pretty good job of that.
Anything your team learned in the last 3 quarters against Massillon, did that help them last week?
I think what they learned and saw both, week 10 and week 2 against Avon is that, we can play with anybody in the state. It's just, can we effectively execute and do what we need to do to beat anybody in the state? I think they saw that it was their approach to the week and their preparation in those 2 weeks that put us in that position during those games. And not to say that, the other weeks were bad, but there was definitely more focus, more attentiveness. There was just a different approach that we had with those 2 weeks this season. And so, the focus is approach every week like we did week 10 moving forward. And I think they bought into that last week, and hopefully, it carries over to this week.
This week it's Jackson. Of course, you saw them 2-3 weeks ago in week 9. Obviously, you know all about them. They know all about you. When you look at this week's game, do you focus much on that game, or is it all about getting prepared as you would for any new team this week?
It's definitely a plus that, we're playing a team that we've already played and played recently. So I guess being able to evaluate what they did during the game and what we didn't do during the game to just to kind of give us a baseline as to how we anticipate them to play certain things that we do, how we plan to do a couple of things differently for what they plan on doing. And so it's not like, we saw a team week 1 and then we have to see them, almost 3 months later. It's very, very fresh in our heads. What the guys prepare for is still fresh in their heads. And so hopefully it's a benefit that, some of the stuff we prepare for or have to prepare for, we've already done.
At this point of the season, you've been a player, you've been a coach. Is it easy or difficult to add much that's very new at this point of the season?
Yeah, I mean, at this point of the season, I think it's just about making sure that the guys are fresh physically and mentally, because it is a long season. It is a physical game, so you don't want the guys to check out mentally, and so it's making sure that they're comfortable with the material, comfortable with the game plan, but not overkill. And then also, if there are certain nuances that we have to do or certain wrinkles that have put us in the position, just to make sure the guys are comfortable with that. So on Friday nights, they can still play fast and play physical.
That's Antonio Hall, head coach of the McKinley Bulldogs, as they get set to take on Jackson this week. Coach, as always, thanks for your time and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium as we get set for high school football playoff action tonight, as the Jackson Polar Bears are at home to face the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. Jackson, the 4 seed at 8-3. McKinley, the 5 seed at 7-4. Jackson with a 24-3 win over Brunswick last week. McKinley beating Parma Normandy by a score of 49-7. Our kickoff tonight is at about 7 minutes after the hour for the television schedule. So have a little time to talk about this game. Brian Beatty, we have Ryan Bevere down on the field. And you and I did the game between McKinley and Jackson 3 weeks ago at Tom Benson Stadium. And we talked at that time about how there were a lot of different ways that game could get away from McKinley. It was senior night. They had McKinley or Massillon coming up the next week. They had clinched a share of the Federal League title the week before that. Kind of showed. They just came out flat, and Jackson really took advantage.
Yeah, they definitely did, and give credit to Jackson that night. They up front won the battle, and I think it comes down to that again tonight. The O-line, deep lines on both sides of the field. So
Antonio Hall, the McKinley coach, after that game, and of course Cam Montgomery got sacked 6 times in that game. Jackson intercepted 2 passes, and the pass rush, especially the last 3 quarters, just gave McKinley all kinds of fits. Antonio Hall saying basically in a lot of those cases it was just people not knowing their assignment and not knowing who to pick up because Jackson was just bringing a lot of people. Can be complicated sometimes, and they just didn't get it right that night. They have to protect the quarterback tonight.
Yeah, it's nice that they can come back and watch that film from 2 weeks ago. That's huge as a coach, and for the players to see what happened, what they do, and of course, Coach Roar and Jackson's going to make adjustments. It's whoever has the chalk last at the chalkboard, gets it right. But yeah, it's one team can say they're overconfident because Jackson won. Then it's a revenge game. You can talk about all the different things, but it just comes down to football on a Friday night, high school, and it's 48 minutes.
Well, McKinley has Cam Montgomery out there at quarterback. He's thrown for 1,816 yards this season, 15 touchdowns. 5 of those have gone to a sophomore. Wideout Darius Hill, running back Nino Hill, 888 yards and 12 touchdowns. Jamar Jackson, 562 and 6 scores. It's kind of gone week to week as to who has gotten more chances, who has gotten more yards between those two. We saw Jamar Johnson have a very good game. We saw Nino Hill have a very good game. Johnson over 130 yards in the game last week against Normandy. I don't know. Is it a feel? I should have asked him, I suppose. Is it a feel thing? Is it somebody's turn? How do they decide? Because they have 2 very good backs that they can go to at any time.
Yeah, being a former running back and running back coach, the feel is there, but it's just, which one's healthiest at this, point of the junction in the year, and, just the feel, who gets the big runs early.
Jamar Johnson, 562 yards. He has 6 scores, 12 for Nino Hill. And the Bulldogs didn't work out so well. We saw them insert Dante McClellan into the offense against Massillon. He got the ball in the first play and fumbled it away, which led to a Tiger touchdown. But had a big week last week. Caught 4 passes, caught a touchdown pass, and apparently is going to be a bigger part of the offense going forward.
Yeah, it's a big body, a big weapon, a great athlete, and you get, I was a little skeptical. I didn't get a chance to watch the Massillon McKinley game, but I was listening on the air. And as soon as I heard they threw the ball to him, I was like, you don't have that in the system. You don't want to, jump to that right away. But looks like he's getting more and more reps, which is good. Ball security will be a big part of, the game tonight also.
He's also their leading tackler, Dante McClellan, reportedly a Missouri recruit, 82 tackles, 16 for loss, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Kevon McNeil and Dior Garner on the defensive line have combined for 14 sacks, and they each have 16 tackles for loss. I thought McKinley played very well the last 3 quarters against Massillon. That was basically a straight-up game after the early troubles that they had. A little bit of a slow start last week, which happens in Week 11 a lot of times. A great last three quarters in that game last week. Antonio Hall talking about it tonight, saying they see what can happen when they prepare and when they're mentally ready to play. They saw it against Avon. They saw it in the last three quarters against Massillon. Do they get the good McKinley or the bad McKinley tonight is the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a real big, a good loss kind of guy, but, I think their confidence is going to be a little bit higher. They're not overlooking Jackson whatsoever. They have no reason to now. And, Jackson's new to this, just beat McKinley. It's new to them and, getting this far in the playoffs. So I know Coach Rohr will have them focused, but it just comes down what I said earlier. It's going to come down to up front. Both teams are going to be physical. You talk about physical. Both teams will be physical tonight. It's the little things, the penalties, the turnovers. That's what's going to win this ball game, and it might just come down to the kicker.
Christian Satterfield has run for 512 yards in the last 4 games for Jackson, talking about being physical. They've been more physical as the season has worn on, and had 119 yards combined rushing and receiving against McKinley, 1150 on the ground for the season. Lucas Eckerman has thrown for 1744, 13 touchdowns. His leading receiver is Noah Calando with 762 yards and 7 of the scores, 20.1 yards a catch. And as we mentioned, they dominated the line of scrimmage with the 6 sacks of Cam Montgomery 3 weeks ago. And the leading sacker in Stark County is Mitchell Brucker for Jackson with 14. But their front 7 has been very good, especially in the second half of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we look at Jackson's offense with Lucas Eckerman leading them. He just has to play a smart football game, be a smart quarterback. Don't force anything. Take the run when he has the run. But, just be a field general out there and take care of the ball.
The Bulldogs have taken the field. They're on the near sideline. They'll be wearing the all-white tonight. White jerseys, red numbers, and red and black trim, white pants. Red and black stripes down the sides, the white helmets with the red and black across the top, the black face masks. They have their jersey number on the left side of the helmet and Bulldogs in script on the right side. The Jackson Polar Bears in the purple jerseys and pants tonight, white numbers and white and black trim and the yellow helmets that we're all very familiar with from the Jackson Polar Bears. Let's send it down to the field for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a great country with freedoms like no other. In order to honor America and in respect for all those who have served and are serving our country to defend our freedoms, please rise as David Gleason directs the band in the playing of our national anthem.
We are about ready to go. McKinley won the toss and deferred to the second half, so Jackson will get the ball first. McKinley leads the all-time series 23-4, 2-0 in the playoffs. These two teams last played in the postseason in 2021. McKinley won that in the second round, 62-28. Jackson has never been to the third round of the playoffs. Tonight's winner faces the winner of Mentor and Strongsville next week in a regional semifinal. We are just about ready to go. And McKinley will be kicking off to start this one. And just about everybody coming in was saying It's great atmosphere tonight. Crowd is still filing in. A lot of people around the fence. And a perfect night for football. Temperatures in the 50s. Very little breeze. And people have been looking forward to this maybe since 2 weeks ago when they saw how the playoff rankings came out and said if both teams won last week, this is tonight's matchup.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. This is for the Federal League Championship. They both tied. This will determine who the outright Federal League champion. But I told you walking in tonight, it's been 33 years since I walked into the stadium playing a playoff game, and I had some goosebumps. So I'm ready to go.
Early on the Sardis scoreboard tonight, Nordonia leading Green 8-0. Only one injury tonight to tell you about. We'll get to that in just a moment. Bit of a strange one. We'll tell you about that in just a moment as Thomas Mankowski gets set to kick off for the Bulldogs. And he does. Here's the kickoff to Noah Calando on the 10-yard line. Out to the 20, pauses, and heads upfield and takes it over the 30 to about the 32. And that will do it. And that's where Jackson will start, going from our right to our left toward the scoreboard at Robert Fife Stadium. Our Life Care Family Health and Dental Care injury report includes only one player, a Jackson player, and that's Rocco Norch. And a part-time offensive player and receiver, unfortunately involved in a car accident last week. Suffered some cuts, nothing major, but he was a game-time decision tonight as to whether he'd be able to go for Jackson. And we have a false start or he called the offside, but he pointed toward the offense. They got it on the defense.
Yeah, trying to slow him down there. Eckerman came up and gave that hard bark and count and made him jump. A little anxious here to start the game off.
So it'll be 1st and 5 on the 37. And a handoff. And a hole across the 45, across the 50, far side. He may go all the way. Satterfield scores for Jackson. Flag down on the play. On the Jackson sideline.
It could be a sideline warning.
Could be. And it is a sideline warning, which is not a penalty. Jay Rohr acting as though it was. But he's always fired up, and especially fired up by that touchdown run of 63 yards by Christian Satterfield on the first play from scrimmage.
Great run by Satterfield, led by number 87, Keegan Stanley was the H-back, pulled around and made a great kickoff block. They found a seam, and Satterfield with great speed took the rest of the way.
Extra point attempts by Mazur is up and good. Cooper Mazur now 27 of 30 on the season. And 19 seconds into the game, the Jackson Polar Bears are on the board. It is 7-0. So McKinley with a penalty on the first play, and they give up a long touchdown run on the next snap. Kind of their MO. I mean, it's a slow starting team seemingly every week, and I don't know what you can do as a coach to change that.
Yeah, that was tough there. Don't remember much H-back with Jackson the last couple games, so that was a little twist that Coach Rourke came in with that lead back and just caught him off unbalanced to the left there.
Well, McKinley allowed Jackson to have the ball first, and the Polar Bears those 68 yards in 2 plays. Actually, one play. It's a 5-yard penalty, and then the touchdown run after that. Cooper Mazur, the junior kicker, one of a number of great kickers in Stark County this season, ready to boot it away. And he does. That one's going to go back inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be Ingram, and he's going to be stopped short of the 20. Flag down. Brian Ingram had his progress stopped at about the 15. And it looks like another penalty here against McKinley.
Return, holding, return team number 29. 10-yard penalty, pushed on McKinley.
So they'll mark it from, let's see, had it on about the 18-yard line, so they'll put it back on about the 9-yard line. So McKinley will start from inside their own 10, already down 7, 25 seconds into the first quarter. Cam Montgomery, the senior quarterback. 2 backs in the backfield with him. And they give it to the first man through, which is Jamar Johnson, and he's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Might actually bring him down for a loss on the play. They had Johnson and Hill in the backfield. Now Johnson will come out, replaced by Carlito Hall, who typically lines up as an H-back for the Bulldogs. We have not seen too much of the 2-back offense for McKinley this year. And that one actually lost a yard. Montgomery hands off. Here's Hill up the middle. And he crosses the 10 and gets out to about the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. And that'll set up a third down and about 8 here for the Bulldogs.
Checking in Dante now at wide out.
Okay. So McClellan is in there. And he's the middle of 3 receivers to the near side. Here comes Montgomery, rolling near side, throws to the sideline. It's a rolling catch on about the 19-yard line. DJ Britt, I believe. No, it's Xavier Harris with a catch on the near side at the 19-yard line, and that will be a McKinley first down. So the Bulldogs convert.
It's going to be a big part of McKinley's offense tonight. Be able to move that pocket, not sit in, and take that rush all night. And they got to be able to throw, to open up the running game, because early it doesn't look like it's going to be much there.
So they have Britt and McClellan and Harris out to the far left side now, wing left. And Hill gets the call up the middle and has a big hole. Here he comes, 30. Nino Hill, 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And a flag on the play. Don't see it. Oh, my goodness. An illegal formation against the Bulldogs. Cost them an 81-yard touchdown run by Nino Hill. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah,
tough to believe and tough to handle right there.
Yeah, that came from the sideline judge on Jackson's side, so they probably saw something and got in the official's ear and had the illegal lineman.
Well, they had the 3 receivers over there and the wing over there. Maybe none of them were on the line of scrimmage, or not enough of them on the line of scrimmage. In any case, Bulldogs back in the 14 with a 1st and 15, so wipe out that touchdown. And here is Hill again, trying the middle. Bounces outside to the left. Gets to the 15, and he's tripped up from behind on a nice play by Nathan Kuntz coming up from the secondary to make the stop. They'll mark him at the line of scrimmage at about the 14. So it'll be 2nd and 15. Jackson up 7-0. McKinley with the ball deep in their own territory. 3.5 minutes into this first quarter.
Nice tackle by number 8, Kuntz there. Good open field tackle. That's not an easy job there in the open field.
Trips to the near side. Tight end to the left. Play action. Montgomery under pressure. Rolling near side. Throws it to Britt, who makes a juggling catch, and he has a first down. Lowers the shoulder. And takes it ahead against Max Cowles. That was just a helmet-to-helmet hit there by the offensive player to get out to the 32 for a Bulldog first down. So it will be 1st and 10 Bulldogs. on their 32. They gave up a long touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage, and then they had a long TD run of their own, called back by penalty. It is Montgomery handing off. It's Johnson up the middle, across the 35 and out to the 38-yard line. Jamar Johnson on the Sarda scoreboard. Nordonia 8, Green 7. Streetsboro 6, Northwest nothing. Massillon 7, Canal Winchester nothing. Bulldogs from the 38-yard line, 2nd and 4. Trips out to the far left side now. Here's a handoff up the middle and a hole for Johnson. Spins through a tackle, and it looks like he might have another first down out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. As the tackle is made by Jackson's Robbie Everhart. But the Bulldogs, give them credit. They've overcome a couple of punches to the gut here in the early going, and like they have the ground game in gear.
Yeah, that nice 2 hard runs by Johnson there to pick up the first down.
And they have Harris out to the left side and trips to the near side with McClellan, the inside of the 3. Snap back and play action. Montgomery going to set up, going to go deep down the middle for McClellan, and it's broken up inside the 10-yard line. Defended on the play by Eckerman, I believe. And we have a flag in the backfield. And this one's going to go against the Polar Bears, and it's a major penalty.
Yeah, it is.
So the personal foul against Jackson will give McKinley a first down, and they're over the 50 for the first time to the Jackson 43. 7-0 Polar Bears. 5 minutes into this first period.
That showed Dante a little bit inexperienced wide receiver. He let the ball come down to him instead of going up and to catch the ball at its highest point there, but he's definitely a defensive player playing offense.
So here is Montgomery in the pistol with Nino Hill behind him. Trips out to the far left side, tight end right, and they hand it off. Hill up the middle. Sidesteps one man and takes it inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. And a 6-yard pickup, 7-yard pickup for Nino Hill as the Bulldogs are off and running, literally, in this one. And they'll have a 2nd down and 3. Again, the trips out to the far side left. Tight end near side is Josh Young. Tight to the line of scrimmage. Montgomery in the pistol. Nino Hill behind him. 2nd and 3. Snap nearly got away, but they'll hand it off again. Hill up the middle, dragging tacklers. And again, he's going to be close to a first down. They're trying to pull the ball out, but Hill hangs on to it. One of those there for Jackson was Jordan Warmoth. They're going to spot him on the 34, so it'll be 3rd down and a yard.
Yeah, a little scrub there. They let that go more and more longer through the play. I wish they blew the whistle a little bit quicker, and that's when you get the little unnecessary roughness. People get a little fired up in those scrums.
Nordonia up on green now, 15-7, 4 minutes left in the first. Here McKinley with a 3rd and 1, another high snap, but a run up the middle by Hill, and he's to the 30. And a McKinley first down. Brought down by Evan Mauser for the Polar Bears. But McKinley started inside their own 10. And a long touchdown run called back by penalty. And have overcome that to drive to the Jackson 32. Actually, the 30. We're under 5.5 minutes to go in the first period. Young, the tight end to the near side, trips out to the left. Now Hill to the right of his quarterback. Jackson's coming. Montgomery back in trouble, running around, eludes some tacklers and takes it into the 25-yard line. So Cam Young showing some mobility and some strength there to pick up 5 yards when the Polar Bears had him surrounded. So it'll be 2nd and 5 here for McKinley. As he comes to the near side, discards his hand warmer and gets the play.
Yeah, great escapability by Cam there. Back picked up one of the blitzers. The other one came free. It's probably miscommunication up front. One of those linemen should have taken the inside, and the back should have had the outside, which he did.
Northwest down early, 13-0 in their first action of the night. Here's a quick throw to the near side. Harris caught it, slipped, and the defense is able to come in and make the tackle. Gang tackling there by the Polar Bears. Max Cowles came in. Christian Satterfield came in. So it'll be a loss on the play. They'll put it back on the 28. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 here for the Bulldogs with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. They trail 7-0. And this time they bring the 3 receivers to the near side and the tight end to the far side left. And back to throw. Montgomery throws over the middle and caught inside the 10 to the 5 and a touchdown. DJ Britt with his 5th touchdown reception of the season. Made a nice catch on that ball over the middle of the field and just turned on the jets and took it to the end zone.
Yeah, Jackson brought the house, and Cam, what a great throw. Stayed in the pocket, took a shot, delivered the ball right out in front of the receiver. The middle of the field was wide open. A little juggling catch and 6 points.
Extra point for Mankowski is up and good. We have a timeout on the field with 3:40 to go in the first quarter, and we are off and running. It's McKinley 7, Jackson 7. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Buying a home is one of the biggest investments you will make in your lifetime. And for some, it's the very first time. You are going to want the guidance of someone with experience, integrity, and successful results. Joanna Belden with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services has proven time and time again that she is that someone. Working with the Belden Group of Joanna Belden and Cindy Ehrenhalt with over 29 years of combined experience and over $21 million in volume sold in 2023, you can feel confident knowing that you are in the best of hands. Call Joanna at 330-309-2343 or Cindy Ehrenhalt at 330-268-5063 or find them both at howardhanna.com.
Television timeouts.
We are back, and TV timeouts are a thing tonight. So we have time to tell you about the other scores in the county on week 2 of the playoffs. We still have a bunch of teams remaining. Streetsboro leading Northwest 13-0. Nordonia 15, Green 7. Malvern up on Lowellville 6-0. They're almost done with the first quarter there. They might be done by now. Yes, they are. And West Branch hosting Cleveland Glenville tonight. The Tarblooders are in Beloit, playing on grass for the first time in about 15 years, I hear. And the score is 0-0. West Branch blocked a field goal. And so that score is 0-0 in a game a lot of people have their eye on. Here we are 7-7 as the Bulldogs and the Polar Bears getting it done different ways, but both very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Jackson with the one play, big run, and then McKinley comes back, gets the ball inside the 10 with a dump penalty on the kickoff return, have a big run for a touchdown. It comes called back because they're not lined up right. But the biggest thing I took out of that drive, they didn't lower their heads. They kept on fighting. They took the punch the first round here, and both, round 1, I guess it's a draw.
Akron-Hoban leading Lake 7-0 in the first quarter. Massillon 7, Canal Winchester 0. Big Walnut leading Perry 7-3 down in Central Ohio. Ready for the kickoff. McKinley kicking it off for the second time. Mankowski hit the extra point that made him 33 of 37 on the season. And he will kick it off. 2 back deep for the Polar Bears. Noah Calando and Christian Satterfield. So they have a lot of speed back there. Here's Mankowski running up. He hits it high and short to the near side. A fair catch called for and taken on the 32-yard line. Ball brought in by Nash Walters, a senior. On special teams, makes the fair catch, just as he was coached to do.
Absolutely. Yes, the ball's up there in the air. Make that fair catch the ball, and don't have to worry about getting hit.
So Jackson will take over very near where they did last time. They'll start in their 33 here. And McKinley going to bring in the beef from the near sideline. They'll have the big man on the line of scrimmage. They bring out a couple of defensive backs. So on 1st and 10 for Jackson from their 33. Barely had a chance to mention them when they came up here the last time. Lucas Eckerman, the quarterback. Satterfield to his left in the pistol. They have a wing to each side, and we have whistles, and we have a timeout for Jackson. So the Polar Bears call time with 3:40 to go in the first quarter and a 7-7 score. So we'll take a timeout. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you will have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patients. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecarefhoc.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
So Jackson uses a timeout before their first play of this possession. They have a 1st and 10 on their 33-yard line. This time they go with the 2 H-backs behind the right tackle. And they'll hand it off. It is Satterfield up the middle, and he nearly broke another one, but he got hit from the side as McClellan came in and put on a good hit. Dante McClellan, but it's an 8-yard pickup to the 41-yard line for the Polar Bears. So 2 running plays, and they've made holes both times. This time their wings are to either side, receiver each way. The wings are Kyler Bailing and Keegan Stanley. And the running back gets it again up the middle. And he waits, finds a hole, and runs it up through to the 45, 46-yard line. And that will be another Jackson first down.
That young man is very patient when he gets the ball. I mean, and he uses his short size and his stature to his ability, staying low, and he gets behind those H-backs and those big tackles and guards in front of him, and all of a sudden he just slips through, and he has a great burst.
Satterfield to the right of his quarterback, wing right, 2 tight ends. They'll give it to him over the left side. This time they bottle it up. He's able to struggle ahead for a couple of yards. But Satterfield goes down in the arms of Damir McClellan. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 here for Jackson. We're at 2:27, clock running first period. And the Polar Bears and Bulldogs are tied at 7. Nathan Kuntz is the wide out to the near side. Calando out to the right. They'll have Satterfield as a slot right. 2 wings to the left, and Eckerman by himself in the backfield. Quarterback run. Here he comes. 50, and he is hammered at the 50-yard line by Dior Garner.
Yeah, it didn't fool anybody there. They had the 2 wings. They ran right up front, and Gardner came out of nowhere and brought Ackerman backwards quickly.
Nordonia up on green, 15-14 in the second quarter. McKinley now with 3 down linemen as Eckerman rolls to the right. He's being chased, and he's sacked back on the 40-yard line. Colin Hinkle into the backfield to make the sack. And Jackson lined up in a passing formation the play before. I don't know that anybody thought they were going to throw the ball there. Didn't run for much. And there when they got in the passing formation, 3 down linemen, one of them just shot right through.
Yeah, they brought their quick edge rushers in. They took the beef out and put the quick edge rusher, and they didn't have no one touched them.
Here's the punt, and a good punt and a fair catch taken on the 23-yard line by McKinley's Keith Quincy. So it will be 36 on the punt, no return. We're at 58 seconds to go in the first quarter. 7-7 is our score. Massillon up on Canal Winchester, 14-0. Malvern up 14-0 on the Lowellville Rockets. McKinley 1st and 10 on their 23-yard line. Montgomery in the pistol, has Nino Hill behind him. Gives him the ball. Tries the left side, and the Polar Bears having none of that. Pyle moves forward a little bit to the 25. Eberhardt there for the Polar Bears, along with Mitchell Brocker. And that's going to be, once they finally get everybody unpiled and put the ball down, it'll be on the 25-yard line. 2nd and 8. 30 seconds left in the period. Bulldogs will have to run one more play. They have 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the near side. That's Britt. 5 on the play clock. Montgomery takes a high snap, hands it off to Hill, tries to go up the middle, and again, the Polar Bears have that one all covered up. And that one's going to be the last play of the first quarter as the seconds tick away, and we are through one period at Robert Fife Stadium, and nothing has been decided as the McKinley Bulldogs and Jackson Polar Bears are tied at 7. We'll come back for second quarter action after this. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92. Back at Robert Fife Stadium, Clint Scroggs, Brian Beatty, Brian Bevere here on Q92. McKinley and Jackson tied at 7 in this second round OHSAA playoff game as we go to quarter number 2. On the Sardis scoreboard, Streetsboro 20, Northwest nothing. Malvern gets a pick 6 and a 2-point conversion, so they lead 22-0 over Lowellville with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Big Walnut leading Perry 14-3 in the second quarter. And Holman's still up on Lake 7-0 in that game. They start to get a little tougher the farther you go, don't they?
Yeah, it's football now. I mean, there's no off weeks, no bye weeks, no, get people healthy week. It's here we go, line up, and that's what it's all about. Getting a chance to practice on Thanksgiving Day.
Everybody wants to play in December.
Yes. We'll have to have Ryan figure out who number 71 for Camp McKinley is.
Yeah, we need Ryan to get on that for us. We don't have him on the roster. McKinley ball, 3rd down and 8 from their own 25-yard line to start the second quarter. Now going from west to east, and here they come, Polar Bears, and they swing it out near side to Hill, cuts back 30, 32-yard line, and he's going to be just short of the first down as Cooper Geisinger and Alston Ellis combine on the tackle. We'll see what Antonio Hall decides to do. Looks like he's going to send the punt team out as the Bulldogs are less than a yard short on their own 32.5-yard line. And the punt team is coming on with Keith Quincy, who averages 35.5 per kick. Great call against that defense.
Really love the call there. Get that back out there in the swing route and get them an open field. Just a great open field tap way to stop its momentum. But yeah, probably a good call here. Coach Hall, you know what you're going to do in these situations before the game.
The punt bouncing around. Calando runs up and tries to field it, lost it, and has to fall on it at the 40-yard line. So he kicked it ahead about 10 yards. And he's fortunate to not turn it over. So the Polar Bears will start 1st and 10 on their 40-yard line. Just underway in the second period in a 7-7 game.
Little chest match here. McKinley has their big guys waiting to go in, and they're seeing what they line up. Better be quick on that substitution. It's going to take a minute for them to get across the field.
That's why they were outside the numbers there. Here's a quick fake handoff and a throw over the middle and a catch by Calando over the 50. And Calando with the first down to the McKinley 46-yard line. So they pick up 14 on the quick pass over the middle. The play action on the first play, the running game has been very effective, so they went play action. Last time they tried to throw, Eckerman got sacked. This time he was able to hit his favorite receiver. And Jackson over the 50-yard line. Here comes Satterfield up the middle with a flag down, 2-3 flags down.
18 Christian Satterfield on the carry, multiple flags.
It's like flag day out there as the ball carrier got about a yard.
Face mask.
Face mask on the Bulldogs. So that's why everybody threw their flags. Everybody saw it. So McKinley with the penalty. They had trouble with that earlier. And McKinley now with 4 penalties for 35 yards. That'll move the ball down to the 29-yard line. So that's a 17-yard penalty against the Bulldogs.
Jackson has it 1st and 10 on the Bulldog 29.
Yeah, big penalty. You know, that's an effort penalty. You know, not it is mental somewhat, but he was just going. I don't think he meant to grab it, but those 15-yarders are big.
So Jackson 1st and 10 on the McKinley 29. Eckerman back to throw. It's going to set up. It's going to throw deep for the end zone and too far. Incomplete for Max Cowles. Jordan McElroy in coverage for McKinley, and it was just the deep post and just a little overthrown.
Yeah, maybe just sit in that pocket just a tad, longer, and you could have connected that. So that's easier to say up here. You don't have the guys rushing down your throats either.
So 2nd and 10 for the Polar Bears as they have opened up the offense a little on this last possession from the McKinley 29. We're tied at 7. 10-17 to go in the first half. Lucas Eckerman in the pistol. 4 receivers and an H-back. Eckerman to throw over the middle. It's caught. Nice. Broken tackle. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jackson. Max Cowles on the catch and run for the score.
Absolutely great ball by Eckerman. He stood in the pocket that time and waited. He got across the middle, and Cowles took care of the rest. He's a quick wide receiver.
We saw him do that here a couple of times a few weeks ago against Hoover. Here is Mazur for the extra point. Calando is the holder. The snap is good. The kick is good. Timeout on the field with 10:08 to go in the first half. Our score, Jackson 14, McKinley 7. Listening to high school football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Updating a couple of scores during the media timeout. It's Streetsboro 20 and Northwest nothing. Massillon's now 14, Canal Winchester 7.
All right, Ryan Bevere came through. and gave us the name on 71 is Lacardis Murray. Thank you very much. It should be on the roster in week 12, but what are you going to do? So Jackson, after McKinley decided to punt on 4th and 1 from their own 33, Jackson takes it 60 yards in very short order, this time through the air. It's been all ground game up until that possession. That time, just flinging it down the field and mostly over the middle of the field.
Yeah, a little play action to open the drive up, and then, Eckerman stood in the pocket and he's starting to deliver the ball. You got to be able to do that in games like this. You're not going to be able to, with both of these up fronts being so tough. So, and Coach Rohr, leads this team, but, they have a great offensive coordinator at Jackson too, a former McKinley coach, which helps, knowing the system that McKinley runs with Coach Bardwell. So you usually get these adjustments. You see, some changes up, see what McKinley comes out now with their next drive.
Bulldogs getting ready to receive.
Ortho United kickoff, number 92, Cooper Measer.
They will bring Jamar Johnson back deep. They'll also have Brian Ingram and Zay Lowry back there.
Zay Lowry and number 20, Brian Ingram.
Malvern gets another defensive touchdown, this time a fumble return, and they lead at Lowellville 28-0 now on the SARTA scoreboard. Here's the kick by Mazur. Taken by the Bulldogs, and it is Brian Ingram up to the 23-yard line. Nice hit put on the Jackson player. A little shaken up after the play. Reese Myers put on the hit. He's feeling that as he goes to the far sideline. So McKinley back out there with a 1st and 10 with 10:02 to go in the first half. They now trail it 14-7. They'll send trips out to the far side right and the tight end to the near side. And Johnson behind Montgomery in the backfield. They'll hand it off up the middle, and a big seam for Johnson. 30, 40, 50, 40, 30, flag down. And they're going to call it back. They're going to get McClellan for a block in the back, I think, as he was running right along with the defender and the back. And a 77-yard touchdown run is going to be called back. The second time tonight, the Bulldogs will have a 65-yard plus touchdown run erased. Now, this one's going to be marked off from the foul and not the line of scrimmage. So the Bulldogs will have it on the Jackson 36. I know whether or not that was a block in the back. Basically, what needs to happen there is McClellan just to get out of the way.
Yeah, you could tell he did touch him, got him in the back. He just put his arm out just enough, and you could tell he was almost trying to recoil it back, knowing I shouldn't do this, and just got enough of cows that he lost his balance. I think if he would have stayed on his feet, he probably wouldn't even got the call. He was going full speed and just a little bit of adjustment. So it did make a difference on that play.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs on the Jackson 36. So their second touchdown wiped out tonight as they give it up the middle to Hill, and he's got a seam. He's inside the 25, inside the 20, and down to inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And instead of the penalties bothering the Bulldogs, or at least getting them down, it seems like it's made them angry tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice having those two backs, too. You just run 70 yards and be able to put a fresh back in like that and take it right at them again, because the defense is going to be tired on a play like that, too, chasing it down. So that is a luxury McKinley has.
They go right back to the line of scrimmage and give it to Hill again, and he takes it to the 9. So it'll be 2nd and 5 on the 9-yard line. Johnson will be in there now as Hill comes to the sideline. And Johnson up the middle, runs into the back of a blocker, and he's going to be wrapped up and pulled down by Jordan Warmoth. As that time, the Polar Bears did not allow McKinley to open a hole. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Jackson up 14-7. But McKinley in the R.G. Drake red zone on the 9-yard line. They'll have it third down, and we'll call it 6. Montgomery comes to the near side for the play, gets to the huddle with 15 on the play clock. Nordonia leads Green now 18-14, halfway through the second quarter. 3 on the play clock. Here's a play action. Quarterback in trouble. Montgomery just fires it out of the end zone on the near side. He was about to be brought down, and the referee is not reaching for his flag. So no grounding call there against Montgomery. Didn't see a receiver in that area. But Montgomery just heaved that one out of bounds.
Yeah, Johnson on that, Jamar Johnson, you got to have a pre-snap read. Even though you're getting the play action, you got to be able to peel back and pick up that blitzer, at least get a hand on him. He came free. That has to be a pre-snap read. You got to know where your blitz is coming from. Even though you're faking the other way, you still got to be able to peel back and at least get a hand, a punch on him.
McKinley's taking a timeout here, so they'll have a 4th and 6 on the Jackson 9-yard line with 8:20 to go in the first half. It's been a very eventful first half. McKinley's had 2 long touchdown runs called back by penalty. Jackson had a long touchdown run on their first play from scrimmage. McKinley responded with a touchdown drive and a touchdown pass from Cam Montgomery to DJ Britt. And then Jackson right back, getting a TD pass from Lucas Eckerman to Max Cowles. So 14-7, and McKinley will go for it here on 4th and 6 on the Jackson 9-yard line. They'll send 3 out to the far side right. Tight end Young to the near side. Johnson to the left of his quarterback. Montgomery in the pistol. Jackson showing blitz. Montgomery back. Man coming up the middle. Throw to the back of the end zone and incomplete. Montgomery took a hit from Van Reerden just as he let the ball go. And the Bulldogs are turned away.
Yeah, really nothing there. The blitz, I'd like to see the sprint out. They ran it earlier in the first quarter. Get him outside, move that pocket a little bit, get him on the run to stretch it a little bit, give him a little bit more time to hit some. But there was nothing open on that.
So Jackson will have the football. Starting on their own 9-yard line. 8:15 to go in the first half. And here's a run to the right side and nothing doing by Eckerman.
Dragged down by the Bulldogs, number 54 is Dior Garner. No gain, second down.
So it'll be second down and 10. Polar Bears look to the far side for the play. Bulldogs with the 3 down linemen here. And Eckerman in the pistol. Hands it off up the middle. And again, Satterfield stopped after only about a 1-yard pickup. They'll stop him on the 10-yard line. And we have whistles. And looks like we might have an injured player here for the Polar Bears. It's one of their linemen. He's punching the ground. He's helped up by his teammates. When he was reacting, it seemed pretty serious, but he got helped to his feet by his teammates, and now he doesn't look like he's having much trouble moving around. Now he's going to start going off the field to the far side. That is Evan Mauser for Jackson. One of their top linemen on both sides of the ball.
Play number 65, Evan Mauser.
The senior going off to the far side, limping, but now it doesn't look terribly severe. We'll see if he's able to return. Third down and 9 here for Jackson on their 10-yard line. Leading by 7. 7.5 minutes to go before halftime. Polar Bears looking to the far sideline for the play. They have a wing to each side, one back, and they hand it off. And Satterfield is dragged down in the backfield by Dior Garner, who got him by the shirt tail and just pulled him down with one hand for a loss. Back to around the 7. So Garner with another tackle for loss. He came in with 16 on the season and adds to that total here.
Yeah, he made that look easy. Just grabbed him and swung him backwards.
Cooper Mysore punting. Out of the end zone. Hits it high. High. And did he call a fair catch? Yes, he did. Xavier Harris with a fair catch on the Jackson 46-yard line. So 39 on the punt, no return. McKinley with very good field position. 6.5 to go in the first half. They trail by 7. Massillon up now 21-7 on Canal Winchester. They're right about the same spot we are in the second quarter. Hoban and Lake now tied at 7. From the Jackson 46, 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Nino Hill, the running back, behind Montgomery. Gets the handoff up the middle. He's wrapped up and thrown to the turf after a short gain by Zach Saleh. They'll give him 2 yards on the gain to the 44-yard line.
On the stop for Jackson, number 49, Mitchell Blocker.
Britt and Harris will split out to the right along with Quincy. Tight end Josh Young near side left. Montgomery looking to the sideline for the play. As Hill behind him. Takes the snap, gives it up the middle. Good running room for Nino Hill, and he bangs his way inside the 40 to the 35-yard line for a Bulldog first down. 9-yard pickup for Nino Hill, who came in with 888 on the season.
Yeah, we didn't see him a lot. The first game we did against Jackson, he didn't play much, but he's run with some authority tonight, getting those dirty yards.
Here's a high snap and a run up the middle again by Hill, and he'll get to about the 32. That'll be about a 3-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 7, and a Jackson player lost his hat, so he'll have to come out of the game. Robbie Eberhardt will go to the far sideline, replaced by Reese Myers, who was shaken up earlier, but back in there. 5:20 to go first half. McKinley down 14-7. They have it 2nd and 7 on the Jackson 32. Triplets to the near side for the Bulldogs. Quincy, the outside man. It's time the tight end set up to the right. And Hill behind Montgomery in the pistol, still with 15 on the play clock. Snap is high. Handoff up the middle to Hill, and he runs into a tackler. Pushes him backwards, but only for about a yard. Zach Saleh again there for Jackson. And it's 3rd down. See Montgomery have to go up for those snaps quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, and you know, that messes up the timing a little bit, especially on those misdirections. You know, when they're hitting it right up the middle, there's not much, you know, it doesn't affect it much. But when you're trying to time it up, run little misdirections, that messes up your footing as a running back.
Hill's still in there on 3rd down and 6. Bulldogs on the 31. It's time a good snap. Montgomery back, sets and fires, caught at the 20-yard line. Quincy breaks a tackle. They'll find him at the 19 and bring him down there. Montgomery with a laser right into the hands of Keith Quincy, and a gain of 12 and a first down.
Yeah, Montgomery stayed in the pocket. Great pickup by Nino Hill on the blitz. He had backside pressure, but knew when it was going to come and released ball just on time.
When it's clicking, this McKinley passing game looks almost intricate at times, but everything has to go well. And on first down, Hill up the middle. He's met in the backfield, gets away from the first man, but can't elude the next two. Solly was there first. Nino Hill got away from him, but Warmouth came in to clean it up along with Cooper Geisinger. So it'll be 2nd and 13 back on the 22-yard line. 3:23 to go in the first half. The Bulldogs taking some time off the clock here as they move it down close to the red zone. Montgomery back to throw. Under pressure and goes down almost, and he threw the ball away just as he was going down in the direction of Nino Hill. So that'll be an incomplete as Montgomery able to find his man at the last moment and save a big sack.
You got a right side tackle missed the block there. It's got slipped, and once again, he's so under control, no emotions, just, and that's a huge play. Just confidence and patience, and I'm so impressed with Cam and just the way he leads this offense, and he's never frustrated.
That was just a 4-man rush there for the Polar Bears, but they got through. No blitz on that play. Here is a fake handoff. Montgomery rolling right, throwing far side, and it is caught inside the 10-yard line. What a throw by Montgomery with pressure on. Threw it to a spot. DJ Britt came to it and made the grab. And it'll be 4th and 1. They're inside the R.G. Drake red zone. They spot the ball on the 10. It looked like he made it to the 9. But they'll put it on the 10, and it'll be 4th and 1 here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, got him outside the pocket, moved the pocket again, and another great throw.
So the Bulldogs need to convert here. They have 2 backs to the right. Actually, they have McClellan in the pistol. High snap. He's going to run to the right, and he slips, and he's going to go down for a loss, and that play doesn't work. They had a bunch of blockers over there, but the high snap again caused the problem as McClellan had to go up for it and then spin around and run out to the right. And by then, the Jackson pursuit was there. And again, McKinley inside the 20 comes away with nothing.
Yeah, you never want to second guess, but that's the snaps have been high to the right the whole series. And that's tough to, come cold and become the quarterback on a wildcat formation.
So Jackson will have it with 2:27 left in the half, starting on their 13-yard line, leading 14-7. Quarterback goes up the middle and goes nowhere. He is wrapped up and thrown to the ground by Dior Garner. He'll spot it on the 13, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. 2:08 to go in the half. Both teams with 2 timeouts. And Jackson with a 7-point lead. Lucas Eckerman. It's to the far side for the play. And Satterfield to his left. 2 tight ends. Handoff up the middle. Satterfield to the 15. And McKinley will take a timeout. So we'll take it with 1:46 left in the first half. Jackson 14, McKinley 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Q92 Sports is your home for the best in high school and Mount Union football. Be sure to follow us all season long on our social media. Just follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop photos and videos from all of our football broadcasts, both high school and Mount Union. You can also see what games we'll be broadcasting week to week, and we always follow you back. Be sure to follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and stay connected to the Q92 Sports Network.
All right, back here at Robert Fife Stadium. 1:46 to go in the second quarter. Jackson 14, McKinley 7. And Jackson with a 3rd and 8 on their own 15-yard line. McKinley just used their second timeout. Malvern will have a running clock in the second half of their playoff game against Lowellville. They're up 35-0. West Branch and Cleveland Glenville still scoreless. Warriors missed a field goal. They earlier blocked a Glenville field goal. They're down to the last 90 seconds of the first half. in a scoreless game. Don't know if anybody predicted that one. So Eckerman alone in the backfield. Back to throw. McKinley rushes three. Throw over the middle. Polando goes down, and he makes the catch on the 29-yard line. Pulled it right off the turf, and a huge conversion there for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, that ball was placed in there perfectly. There was only one person that caught that. Was Polando, and it was right there. He took it right off the turf. Great catch.
Two out to the left, one to the near side. Eckerman back to throw. McKinley again, rush three, and they're going to get a sack. Back on the 26-yard line. Garner again, along with Colin Hinkle. Back at the 27, so it'll be second down and 12. And now they're just going to let the clock run. We're down to a minute. McKinley with one timeout left. Jackson up by a touchdown on their own 27-yard line in the final minute of the first half. Eckerman with Satterfield to his right. Two receivers out to the left, tight end to that side. Satterfield runs left, looking for somewhere to go. Finds a hole, gets to the outside, 35-40, far sideline, and out of bounds into the Jackson bench. Took a big hit over there. I don't see a flag, or I haven't seen a flag. There might be one there. He's out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. They'll spot him out on the 46. And so that was a run of 19. And no flag on the play on the hit to the far sideline. 37 seconds. Jackson with two timeouts. On their own 46, leading by a touchdown here just before halftime. Back to throw. Eckerman standing in. Hit as he throws. Down the middle he goes, and too high and incomplete. Intended for Cowles. That'll stop the clock with 32 seconds. And by the way, Evan Mauser is back in for the Polar Bears on the offensive line. Second and 10, 32 seconds left in the half. Jackson with a second and 10 on their 46. As they get the play signaled in on the other side of the field, the home side. One out to the left, three to the near side. Eckerman rolls near side. Pass back over the middle, incomplete on the 40. And we'll have a flag. Looks like we might have a hold here on the Polar Bears. So it will be a holding call against Jackson, which will back them up inside their 40.
That's an easy call for the line judges. Sprint out there, and the back just got up underneath his shoulder pads, and just defender tried to get away from him, and he pulled on his jersey. Easy call.
That was Hinkle again putting on the pressure to get the penalty. 28 seconds left in the half. Jackson now with a second and 20 on their 36. Eckerman will hand it off. Satterfield up the middle and gets a couple of yards before he is stopped. Hinkle with another tackle for the Bulldogs. They put it down on the 39. And looks like everybody's going to head for the locker room as we're down under 10 seconds. And that will be it for the first half from Robert Fife Stadium. After 2 quarters of play, it's Jackson 14 and McKinley 7. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the Putman Properties halftime report. We'll have news. We'll have scores of other games. We'll have some stats. We'll have a look at the other playoff action tonight and highlights of our first half of play, which was a crazy first half. And after 2 quarters, again, our score, Jackson 14 and McKinley 7. Take a time out. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Authorities are searching for a missing Canton man. The Stark County Sheriff's Office issued a missing adult alert this afternoon for 66-year-old Chris Nicholas. Around 10 a.m. today, he walked away from his home on Altman Avenue Northwest. Nicholas is white, 5'10", 145 pounds, with gray hair and blue eyes. He suffers from dementia, and law enforcement is concerned for his safety. Anyone who sees Nicholas is asked to call 911. 2 Canton police officers charged in the death of a man in their custody had their first court date today. 25-year-old Bo Shoneggy and 24-year-old Camden Birch pleaded not guilty to a count of reckless homicide. The pair posted bond Monday following their Friday arrest. Their pleas were entered in writing. The officers are accused of causing the death of Frank Tyson after he crashed his vehicle April 18th. He stopped breathing after being handcuffed and put face down on the floor of the AMVETS building on Sherrick Road Southeast, where he had gone after the crash. People in the building had called police to have Tyson removed due to his erratic behavior. A Stark County Sheriff's Inspector is charged with OVI after a Wednesday night crash. Bill Jones reportedly was driving northbound on Dressler Road Northwest when he turned in front of a southbound vehicle onto Belden Village Street. Jones reportedly started to walk away from the scene and became angry when stopped by Jackson Township Police. He was handcuffed and taken to the police station. Jones reportedly refused a breath and urine test. According to the repository, Sheriff George Meyer says Jones will likely be placed on administrative duty pending the outcome of the case. His next court date is Wednesday. SARTA is receiving state grants to fund 5 projects. The nearly $4 million will be used to purchase 2 electric buses, 8 compressed natural gas buses, and 3 CNG paratransit buses. The funds will also be spent on transit facility enhancement projects and replacement of radios and modems for fare boxes. Governor Mike DeWine today announced $17.5 million in grants from ODOT's Ohio Workforce Mobility Partnership Program. They will fund 33 transit projects in Ohio. Nearly $639,000 is going to the Portage Area Regional Transit Authority. Their projects are an upgrade of a CNG fuel pump, the purchase of tablets and information systems, a workforce mobility transit feasibility study and transit development plan, and rehabilitation of the administrative building and security improvements. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
A new contract is in place for Jackson Township Police. An agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council, was approved Thursday by trustees. Lieutenants will receive a 3% increase each year. They also will pay 14% toward their health insurance. Misdemeanor assault charges have been filed against 2 corrections officers at the Columbiana County Jail. 26-year-old David Ferguson Grants of Youngstown and 26-year-old Clint Reynolds Jr. of Lisbon were arraigned Thursday in Columbiana County Municipal Court. Both are slated to return for a pretrial hearing later this month. Ferguson Grants allegedly threw a handcuffed inmate to the floor on September 18th. He's also accused of pushing the man to the floor, grabbing him by the head, and hitting his head against a wall. Ferguson Grants reportedly pushed another handcuffed inmate up a stairway September 24th and jumped on him. Both inmates were taken to Salem Regional Medical Center for treatment. On October 3rd, Reynolds allegedly shoved an inmate from behind while being released from jail. A Youngstown man is in the Mahoning County Jail charged with aggravated murder. 44-year-old David Tribble is accused in the July 11th murder of 51-year-old Jermaine Tillis. He was found dead in a driveway after an argument on East Judson Avenue. He had been shot once. Tribble was picked up Thursday night at a home on Mistletoe Avenue by members of the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force and U.S. Marshals. A court appearance is pending. The sale has been delayed for the land in Youngstown that was to house the Chilcan plant. The sheriff's sale was set for Monday for the 21-acre site on the city's east side. The Vindicator reports 3 appraisals of the property could not determine its value, so no sale can be held. The Mahoning County Auditor's Office says the land is worth about $2 million. The city will file a motion compelling the sheriff to start the bidding at that price. Common Pleas Court Judge John Durkin must rule on the motion. It isn't known when the sale might be rescheduled. Mosquito Lake in Trumbull County is the scene of a fire that's been burning for more than 2 weeks. That's according to Mecca Township fire officials, who say the blaze was started by an unattended campfire. It's located along the west shoreline. The fire remains in the root base of the vegetation, and the peat moss continues to smolder and generate smoke in the area. Firefighters from multiple departments have assisted in containing the flames. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Wildlife Management also has been working in the area to contain the blaze for the past 2 days. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game right after the forecast from News 5 meteorologist Mark Johnson. For the Putman Properties Halftime Show, I'm Jeff Mears with Q92 News.
Overnight, clear and starry. You're going to need a warmer coat with a low near 34. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Here to tell you about him is the voice of the Purple Army, Mr. Paul Dillick.
Welcome back to Robert Fife Stadium halftime here on Q92. It's the Putman Properties halftime report. Clint Scroggs along with Brian Beatty and Ryan Bevere. And we have a good one going here in the second round of the playoffs, Division I, Region 1. 4-seed Jackson leading the 5-seed McKinley at halftime, 14-7. And let's take a look at the first half stats as we have the opportunity. The Bulldogs led in first downs, 10-7. They had 203 total yards to 150 for Jackson. 81 yards through the air, 42 on the ground. Rushing 122 for McKinley, 108 for Jackson. McKinley had the big number, 5 penalties for 45 yards in that first half. For McKinley, Jamar Johnson, 5 carries for 61 yards. Dino Hill, 14 carries for 58 yards. Cam Montgomery, 1 for 5. Dante McClellan, 1 for -2. That was the fourth down play down inside the Jackson 10. For the Polar Bears, Christian Satterfield, 10 carries, 103 yards, including 63 on one play. Noah Calando, 1 for 14. Lucas Eckerman, 5 for -9. Receiving in the first half, Hill caught 2 for 7 yards. Xavier Harris, 2 for 4. DJ Britt, 3 for 58 and a touchdown. Keith Quincy, 2 for 12. For Jackson, Noah Calando, 1 for 14. Max Cowles, 3 for 28 and a touchdown. Passing wise, Cam Montgomery was 7 of 10 for 81 yards and a touchdown. Lucas Eckerman was 2 of 4 for 42 yards and a touchdown in the first half. And as we take a look at the scoring in the first half, Jackson got the ball first. Before their first play, McKinley was called for offsides. So the ball moved up to the 37-yard line. And on first down, Christian Satterfield took care of the rest. So it'll be 1st and 5 on the 37. And a handoff. And a hole. Across the 50, far side. May go all the way. Satterfield scores for Jackson. The extra point was good. And 19 seconds into the game, it was 7-0 for Jackson. McKinley came back with a 13-play, 82-yard drive. They had a touchdown run, a long one, by Nino Hill that was called back by penalty, but they kept going and ended up going 82 yards. the final 28 on this pass. And back to throw. Montgomery throws over the middle and caught inside the 10 to the 5 and a touchdown. DJ Britt. Thomas Mankowski hit the extra point. And it was 7-7 at that juncture. That's the way the first quarter ended. Then in the second quarter, Jackson took a punt on their 41-yard line, and it took them only 4 plays to go the 59 yards, the last 28 on this play. Lucas Eckerman in the pistol, 4 receivers and an H-back. Eckerman to throw over the middle. It's caught. Broken tackle. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jackson. Max Cowles on the catch and run for the score. Extra point was good by Cooper Mazur. And it was 14-7 for Jackson, and that's the way it stayed the remainder of the first half. McKinley was inside the Jackson 20 on 2 different occasions and came up empty both times. So the Polar Bears with a 7-point lead at the break. Now let's send it down to the field and the Jackson marching band.
Of the Purple Army would like to thank you for allowing us to entertain you this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Puck at Jackson High School and the showman of Stark County.
The Jackson Polar Bear Marching Band entertaining the fans here at Robert Fife Stadium for the final time this season. Starting with week 3, we'll be at neutral sites for all the playoff games, headed down to the finals to take place at Tom Benson Stadium in the first weekend of December. Other teams in action this weekend. Of course, the winner of this game will play the winner of the Strongsville Mentor game. Mentor took a, I believe, 13-0 lead right before halftime in that game. The other 2 games have Lakewood St. Edward and Toledo Whitmer, the 7 against the 2, and the 11 against the 3, Berea Mid-Park and Perrysburg.
Going on tonight, at least in the area.
In Division 2, Region 5,
Northwest nothing.
Lake taking on Akron Hoban tonight. The winner of that game will play the winner of the Green Nordonia game. So Lake and Hoban tied at 7. That'd be interesting. We had another Federal League rematch next week with Lake and Green. Warren Harding, the 5 against Austintown Fitch, the 4 tonight. The winner of that game will take on the winner of the Hudson Walsh Jesuit game. That's the 9 against the 1.
And second quarter, it's Massillon 28.
In the 7th region, Perry at Big Walnut. They're trailing by a score, or 2 scores now in the second quarter. That's the 9 versus the 1. The winner of that game will take on Asheville Taze Valley, the 7, and Worthington Kilburn, the 15. Massillon look like they're going to beat Canal Winchester tonight. They'll play the winner of the Columbus DeSales and Ashland game, the 5 versus 4 game next week. In Division 4, Region 13, West Branch and Glenville scoreless at halftime tonight in the 4 versus 5 game. Winner of that one will take on the winner of the Struthers-Perry game. That's Lake County Perry. Northwest doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it done tonight against Streetsboro unless they come back big in the second half. The winner of that game takes on the Field Lake Catholic game next week, the 9 versus.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
Columbia Station and Mogador playing in the 4 versus 12, and New Middletown, Springfield, and Toronto in the 2 versus 7 game in Division 6, Region 21. So we're hopeful tonight for more teams to move on. Lake right in that game with Hoban, which would be a pretty big surprise. Massillon look like they'll move on tonight. Looks like Northwest might have run to the end of the line. And one local team will be advancing from this game tonight to play next week in week 3 of the playoffs. It's nice to have a lot of them in, but time like this, you might lose a few all in one weekend, and it looks like that's what we might have tonight. But as the teams start to filter back out on the field, I really wasn't able to get a feel on this game. Didn't have one coming in, still don't have one here at halftime.
Yeah. No, absolutely. McKinley with, some costly penalties, didn't take advantage inside the 20 in the red zone twice. Left some points on the board that way. Jackson had some big plays, and, it's the second half. It's the last 24 minutes here, and see who can come out on top. And, I think McKinley did some good stuff. Jackson did some good stuff, and you make a few adjustments, not major adjustments, and see how that goes. I like to see McKinley get the ball outside the pocket a little bit. They have had success with Cam getting outside the pocket on the rollouts, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, the big story has to be from the first half. McKinley with 2 touchdowns called back. Ryan Bevere got some good video on the block in the back call by the McKinley player, Dante McClellan, on the long TD run by Johnson, or what would have been a TD, or at least close to one. And it looked like there was a little bit of a push in the back just with one hand, nothing major, but again, just stay out of the way. I mean, your running back is on his way for a score, just stay out of it. And so that cost them on their first possession or second possession. They had one called back. That's what we talked about all season. Is it going to be the good McKinley or the bad McKinley? We saw some good, but the problems that they've had all season have them in a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, going back to, Dante, if I'm an offensive coach and I see him standing on the sideline during the offense, I want him in there too, but I wish they would have maybe, developed this a little bit sooner than, come week 10, the block in the back is just something being inexperienced, the rollout was, just a tough play there, controlling the snap, but you got to put your athletes on the field. So I understand exactly what Coach Hall is doing. So I imagine we'll see more of it second half and get after it.
50-50 winner. Check those purple tickets again.
All right, teams back out on the field warming up. We'll take one more timeout. When we come back, we'll have second half action as McKinley trails Jackson at halftime 14-7. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Q92 Sports is your home for the best in high school and Mount Union football. Be sure to follow us all season long on our social media. Just follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop photos and videos from all of our football broadcasts, both high school and Mount Union. You can also see what games we'll be broadcasting week to week, and we always follow you back. Be sure to follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and stay connected to the Q92 Sports Network.
All right, getting ready for the second half from Robert Fife Stadium. Here on Q92, Jackson 14, McKinley 7. The Bulldogs will get the ball first to start the second half. And we'll see if McKinley is able to put together 2 good quarters of football here. On the Sardis scoreboard, Massillon now up on Canal Winchester 31-7. Streetsboro 27, Northwest nothing. Big Walnut 21, Perry 10 at halftime. Running clock for Malvern and Lowellville in the second half with the Malvern team on top. And the last score we had was West Branch and Glenville 0-0. And we have a reporter there, so we should be able to find out what happens pretty quickly.
Yeah, she's staying on top of it, and she's going after the field goal kicker already. She was not happy.
This announcement from the concession stand.
Yeah, each team had a field goal attempt in that game, a miss and a block, so that kept it at 0-0. As we said in the pregame, Glenville playing on grass for the first time. Let's see, where did that? I had that text. 10 years. 10 years the last time Glenville played on grass before tonight. Wouldn't have mowed it all week if I were them, but
no, I was on watching a little bit of live there on their huddle account, and it looks beautiful as it always does. They really take pride in those grass fields out there, and it's still different. So
Jackson will kick off to start the second half, and Cooper Mazur kicks it inside the 5, and out comes Jamar Johnson coming to the near side. 20, 25, 30 around the corner, still going, 40, 50, down the sideline, 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Bulldogs, no flags. That's about a 97 or 98 yarder for Jamar Johnson. And just like that, the Bulldogs are with a point of a tie.
Great run back there, but great play by number 6, Shad Davis, sophomore. He just stayed on his block from the time the ball got to the 30 all the way up the field, clean block all the way down, just sprung it. But just an all-out play by a sophomore. You know, doesn't probably get his name out there a lot yet, but what a great play.
Here's the kick by Mankowski, and it is good. And so just like in the first half, a score in the first 30 seconds. This time it's McKinley. And the bolt of lightning, 95 plus for Jamar Johnson on the kickoff return. I don't think he was touched. And he came down the near left sideline and went the distance, and we are tied at 14. How about that?
Yeah, he couldn't draw it up any better in the locker room there, that's for sure. You know, we've been saying all year the Jackson games we've had, their special teams have been special. They've had a lot of great kickoff returners they've went against and really played well. So that's unusual and a great play.
So now it'll be Jackson's turn. Might as well hunker down. We're going to be here a while. And still no difference between these teams.
Yeah, just starting brand new, like 0-0 now. Just with 15 seconds off the clock.
Bulldogs have 10 on the field right now on the kickoff. I don't know what the problem was. Some people were out there, then they came to the sideline, and then they went back out, and now they have 11. And Mankowski will kick it away from his 40-yard line. Calando and Satterfield back deep for Jackson, standing around the 5. No breeze here tonight on a perfect fall night for football. Kick is away, high and short in the middle of the field. Satterfield at the 15, 20, and out to the 25. And a nice tackle in space by McKinley's Lance Long, a senior who made the stop. And the Polar Bears will start 1st and 10 on their 25-yard line. McKinley had the statistical advantage in the first half. Yards, time of possession, etc. But they also had the higher number in the penalty category, which cost them. And Jackson will come out to the line of scrimmage from the sideline. Lucas Eckerman, the junior quarterback, in the pistol. Our offensive line shifts to the left, and they hand it off running left. And it's Satterfield, and he's pulled down in the backfield by Dante McClellan. And the Bulldogs are fired up.
Yeah, they got a little bit of swagger to them right now on the sideline. The fans are getting into it here, and, McKinley definitely came out and threw the first punch to see how Jackson reacts to it.
Streetsboro 27, Northwest nothing. They have finished 3 quarters. We are a minute into the 3rd quarter. Calando will split out wide to the left. Cowles to the near side right. Wing left. Tight end left. And now the tight end shifts to the right. Back to throw. Eckerman going far side. It is caught over there by Calando, dragging a tackler down the sideline. And where are they going to mark him out of bounds? All the way up over the 40 at the 41-yard line. It's an 17-yard pickup. They'll put him on the 40. Nope, they'll put it on the 41. So 18 yards and a first down. Eckerman to Calando, who's been the top receiver tonight for the Polar Bears. Cowles has the receiving touchdown. Now it'll be Jackson 1st and 10 on their 41. 2 receivers near side. And they shift their tight end and H-back over to the left. Bulldogs jump. No flag. And now a flag as the play clock ran out. Jackson was waiting for the official to throw the flag for the offsides, which never came. There was movement, but apparently didn't break the plane. And so it looks like a delay of game, or did they call a timeout? Oh, Jackson called timeout. I'd rather give up the 5 yards in that situation than call a timeout.
Yeah,
a minute into the second half in a tie game.
Hate to use them that early. I tell you little things in the ball game, but 71, we were asking about his number earlier. Murray, he did a great job controlling his body, not going. I mean, because he flinched, but he actually kept that body under control and not, getting the encroachment.
What do you think? Maybe 350 for him?
Ooh.
3.5 bills?
Yes. He is a large man, that's for sure. And I like what Jackson's doing. They're trying to shift the line, making them, move. And, they have the bigger individuals in there. And it's, when they're trying to shift down, they don't shift as quick. So, that hopefully they can find a gap. It helps the linemen get on their blocks a little bit easier. When you got to block someone at 350 pounds, you want to be able to take as much advantage you can.
Jackson with a 1st and 10 on the 41 after the timeout, and it's Satterfield up the middle. Looked like he might slither through, but he was grabbed by Isaac Brooks, who pulled him back. So that's going to be a gain of a couple for Satterfield. Yeah, I don't know. I'd hate to be needing that timeout late in the game when you took it there in the first minute to save yourself a 1st and 15 out near midfield. 2nd and 8 from the 43. Eckerman will shift his tight end to the right. They have a wing left, receiver each way. Snap back, play action, rolling left. Throw is caught in the left flat and out of bounds. Out around the 45-yard line. Jackson's Alston Ellis, the senior tight end. They'll mark him on the 47-yard line, and that'll bring up A 3rd down and 4 here for Jackson. 2 minutes into this second half.
Yeah, another nice play by Satterfield. Not running the ball there, but just, you always tell your running backs they don't have to destroy someone when they block. Just get your hands, disrupt their momentum to the quarterback. That's what he did. Just give Eckerman enough time to get rid of that ball. Nice play there by Satterfield.
3rd and 4. Jackson on their 47 in a tie game. Eckerman rolling near side, rolling, firing deep and too high and incomplete. Intended for Calando. Demir McClellan in coverage, but that pass was well overthrown. And that'll make it 4th down for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch the replay there. I don't know if they had anybody underneath. They only had one man in that route on a sprint out. I don't know, maybe someone didn't get across the field because you should have had a short.
Here's a punt, and Quincy calling the fair catch, went for it. I don't think he touched it, but the ball went out of bounds anyway on the 16-yard line. Dangerous play there, as that'll be a 37-yard punt and no return. McKinley will take over on their own 15-yard line at 9:49 of the 3rd, and we're tied at 14.
Quincy likes that last-minute fair catch. If you're going to fair catch it, give the signal and get up there and grab the ball, and that could have been very costly there.
Bulldogs come out with Nino Hill as the running back. DJ Britt out to the far side right. Harris inside him. And Quincy split wide to the near side left. Montgomery in the pistol. See how the snaps are in the second half. Play action. They throw the slant near side. Quincy's got it, breaks a tackle. Here comes Quincy, 35, 40, 45, 50, and that finally brought down on the Jackson 45-yard line. 40 yards on the play. You got to have some trust there. He threw that ball basically right at the defender.
Yeah.
Trusting his receiver to cut in front and make that catch.
Great ball, great play action fake by the running back and put the ball right where it needed to be. Once again, Cam making the throw when he needs to.
You have the H-back behind the right guard, and Hill in there is the running back. It's a fake. Montgomery now got to run to the right. Around the corner to the 40 and out of bounds at the Jackson 39, 38-yard line. Sorry, they put it on the 32-yard line rather than the 37, and that will be a first down.
Yeah, another great play by Cam. They're trying to run the same thing, a little play action with another slant. Wasn't there, didn't force it for the interception that time, and just took out the backside and picked up a nice gain.
So the Bulldogs in 2 plays from their 15 to the Jackson 32. 9:12 to go in the 3rd. 14-all is our score. Montgomery takes the snap, hands it off. Hill up the middle. 25. 23-yard line.
Another strong run there.
Thrown down by Brocker. McKinley on the march. They had the kickoff return touchdown to start the second half to tie the score. And now, after a defensive stop, the offense moving the ball. From the 23, 2nd and 1. Montgomery looking to the side for the play. Hands it off to Hill, running right, and they got him, I think, short of the first down. They might mark him for a loss back on the 24-yard line. So now it'll be 3rd and 2. So we'll see what they elect to do here on 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, Cam came over to the sideline, had a little conversation with Coach Hall there. I don't know if that was a zone read, and if he would have pulled that, it probably would have been, you don't see him running a lot, but it would have been a good opportunity for him to pull.
8 on the play clock. Bulldogs are lined up. Montgomery waiting for the ball. Hands it off to Hill. Running right, first down and more. Inside the 20, inside the 15. Still spinning and twisting his way down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, keeping those legs going, not, going down on first contact and getting those extra yards. Great run.
First and goal, Bulldogs inside the R.G. Drake red zone. In a 14-all tie. They put it down on the 8. Again, Hill is the running back behind Montgomery in the pistol. Wing right, 2 to the receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and the snap almost got away, but Montgomery runs it up the middle, down to around the 5, pushing forward into around the 4-yard line. I don't know if that was a planned run or if he just decided to take the bad snap and go.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit wide and left again, but being smart like Cam is, just follow where the ball's supposed to go, where the running back's going to be there. So he's going to lead you right up through there and put your head down, get what you can. A lot of times, quarterbacks will get it and they want to roll out and try to get funny. Just run where the ball is supposed to go.
They got half of what they needed at second goal on the 4. Bulldogs have been down here before and got nothing. Here's Hill up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown.
Very impressive drive by Cam McKinley there. Very, very impressive.
Nino Hill with his team-leading 13th touchdown of the season. And the Bulldogs are up by 6. Mankowski for the point after. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Timeout on the field. 6:39 to go in the third. McKinley 21, Jackson 14. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Buying a home is one of the biggest investments you will make in your lifetime. And for some, it's the very first time. You are going to want the guidance of someone with experience, integrity, and successful results. Joanna Belden with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services has proven time and time again that she is that someone. Working with the Belden Group of Joanna Belden and Cindy Aaronhalt with over 29 years of combined experience and over $21 million in volume sold in 2023, you can feel confident knowing that you are in the best of hands. Call Joanna at 330-309-2343 or Cindy Aaronhalt at 330-268-5063 or find them both at howardhanna.com.
For McKinley, about halfway through this third quarter. Nino Hill with the touchdown run. And I was looking to see what the drive was, but don't have those numbers yet. In any case, Nino Hill now with 18 carries, 86 yards. Jamar Johnson, 5 for 61. Cam Montgomery, 3 for 22. Christian Satterfield with 103 yards for Jackson. 63 of those, though, came on the first play from scrimmage, which was a touchdown run to get Jackson an early 7-0 lead. On the started scoreboard, no more running clock for Malvern. They lead at Lowellville 35-8 after 3. Streetsboro 34, Northwest 7. And not much new. Massillon up 31-7. Hoban leading Lake in the third, 21-14. And Big Walnut up on Perry, 21-10. Here, McKinley with the only 14 points of the second half. They had the kickoff return for touchdown by Jamar Johnson. And then the touchdown run by Nino Hill.
Thomas Mankowski will kick off for McKinley. Back team to receive, number 7, Noah Colando, and number 18, Christian Satterfield.
Thomas Mankowski to kick it off for the Bulldogs. Satterfield and Colando standing back around the 10-yard line, awaiting the kick. And the ball in the air, driven down the field to Colando on the 12. He's going to cross the field to the far side, 20, 25, and he'll be run out of bounds out around the 28, 29-yard line. Kayvon Dawkins there for McKinley. So the Polar Bears now will have to answer with the offense. They went into halftime ahead by 7, and now halfway through this third quarter. They're down by 7.
Yeah, McKinley just looks like they're flying to the ball a little bit quicker. Just, they just have that edge right now. See, Jackson, this is a big series for them, big drive.
Satterfield as the inside receiver of 3 on the near side. Keegan Stanley out here as they run it up the middle with the quarterback. And Eckerman gets crunched as he gets to the 33. It's going to be about a 4 or 5 yard pickup. Saw that earlier where they line up in the spread formation and just ran the quarterback up the middle. He picks up decent yardage there, 4 yards. They have Kuntz out to the far side left. 2 to the near side. Satterfield with Eckerman in the backfield. Gets the handoff, and he's dropped, and the ball is out. McKinley has it on the 25-yard line. I'm going to say that was Colin Hinkle that got into the backfield and disrupted that handoff. And I think it was Zayshawn Murray who came out with the football. But someone got in there and basically knocked the handoff out of the hands of the running back, and that was Colin Hinkle, the junior, who's made a number of big plays here tonight. And McKinley with a chance to get some distance between themselves and Jackson. Empty backfield. Montgomery back to throw. Down the middle he goes. It's caught at the 5-yard line. A big hit put on, but the receiver hangs on to the ball. It's Xavier Harris, and the Bulldogs in the RG Drake red zone again, down on the 5. The hit put on by Max Cowles, but a perfect throw and catch. Britt will spread out wide to the right. Darius Hill will be out there with him. Quincy to the near side. One back. Montgomery looking to the sideline for the play. And I believe they're going to call a timeout.
I don't think they have enough on the field. No, they do. They don't have the right formation.
They're going to call a timeout here with 5:06 to go in the third. McKinley up 21-14. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
McKinley with a 1st and goal on the 5, leading 21-14 with 5:06 to go in the third quarter. They had to call their first time out of the half, each team now with 2. And they have both backs in there, Johnson and Hill, one on either side of the quarterback. They give it to Hill, and he's going to be hit and battling, but he's going to go down for a loss. They had the Polar Bears there. It looked like they sent everybody right up the middle. And that play not going anywhere. They'll lose a couple. Johnson will come out. The tight end, Josh Young, will come back in.
Loss on the play, 2nd down and goal.
So 2nd and goal on the 7. 4.5 to go in the third. McKinley up by 7. They have trips out to the right, tight end left, Hill in the backfield. And they give it to him up the middle, and he's going to be hit and stopped.
Number 12, Nino Hill again up the middle.
Might have gotten a yard on the play as the middle of the Jackson defense
Number 85, Zach Soleil.
comes up big on those last 2 plays.
Yeah, if McKinley's going to put any new plays in next week, if they get the opportunity, if Cam could read some of those dives and take that ball outside, they are just tacking down the wide out to run everyone. He could go right over the edge or right around the edge.
Tight end to the right. 3 receivers near side left. 3 on the play clock. Down to 2, down to 1. Handoff up the middle to Hill. He's got a hole, and he's into the 1 yard line. They stopped him just short. It's inside the 1. So it'll be 4th and goal from just a few inches away here for the Bulldogs. They lead 21-14. Clock running, 3:15 left in the third. And the Bulldogs right back to the line of scrimmage. Again, they go with a 3 wide. Montgomery under center, takes the snap, and I don't know. They're still pushing.
Touchdown.
And now he's in. He went under center, maybe the first time we've seen that all year. That kind of gave away what the play was going to be.
Yeah, no surprise there.
But the Bulldogs ended up pushing just a little bit harder.
They did a great job controlling the ball there. There was a lot of people grabbing and reaching at it.
Here's Mankowski for the extra point. Good snap, good hold, kick up. Good. 2:56 to go in the third quarter. McKinley with 21 points here in the quarter, lead it 28-14. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you'll have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patients. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecarefhoc.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
McKinley has dominated this third quarter, and they lead at 28-14 as they get set to kick off. After the second touchdown of the night for Nino Hill. Actually, that was Cam Montgomery with a touchdown for McKinley from a yard out. As Mankowski gets set to kick it off. Glenville's taking a 7-0 lead on West Branch. 3.5 to go in the third quarter. As Mankowski's kick goes to the far side. Calando on the 10. Trying to cross the field to the near side. He's surrounded, and he's going to go down on the 24-yard line. He was coming across the field, and it was him in about 5 white shirts right in his face.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they had a return left set up, and he decided to go right, but he had no blocking on the right side. A wall of white jerseys standing there waiting for him.
Malvern scores again. They lead Lowellville 42-8. Nordonia up 35-17 in the third. Over Green. Jackson, 1st and 10 on their 25. Eckerman, hands off, and nothing. Up the middle for Christian Satterfield. He's dropped for a loss as the interior of that McKinley line, and they don't have the big guys in there right now. They're just winning the battles right now.
Yeah, they're shooting gaps. They're getting after they got their ears pinned back and just shooting gaps and taking a toll on Jackson up front right now.
Polar Bears capable of a big play at any time, however. Bring 5 wide, 2 to the near side, 3 out to the left. Eckerman back to throw. It's going to be a screen, and there it is. 30, 40. Cowles 15. He breaks a tackle, and he's going to go all the way. There's that big play. And another missed tackle on a Jackson touchdown. And the Polar Bears right back in it.
Yeah, you called that one. That was what they needed for sure. Just a quick little slant, misdirection, almost a screen. Yeah, they brought it out, so it would have been more of a screen. And number 10, Kyles, we've seen his speed all year, and I tell you what, he gets some movement.
Here's the kick by Mazur. Good. 1:57 to go in the third. McKinley 28, Jackson 21. Yeah, they have that possibility. I was thinking more slant or something like that, but they had the perfect call there. They suckered all the McKinley rushers in. And again, Cowles had tacklers on him out near the 40-yard line, but they couldn't bring him down, even though Cowles is not a big fellow, 5'7" and 150.
Yeah, sometimes those DBs get too anxious to try to strip that ball, and they go for the ball instead of just making a secure tackle. But looking at the replay, that was actually a slip pattern is what we call that, and where the receiver will go downfield 2 steps and come back behind the line of scrimmage so he can catch it behind the line because his offensive linemen are going downfield. So great play, slows the rush down that way and got the ball in the right hands. I tell you what, it's great watching Coach Hall and Coach Rohr. They are 2 excellent coaches in Stark County, but Coach Hall is so calm, doesn't get too emotional, and Coach Rohr, I think, might have beat Cowles down the sideline there. So it's great watching both of them. They're just
that's 2 different styles.
Yeah, 2 different styles. But you got to do that way. I've always said, you got to coach on Friday night the same way you coach during the week. You can't be a screamer Friday night if you're not yelling at them during the week. So
yeah, Jay Rohr is 1 speed all the time, I believe.
Yeah, I imagine his practices are intense.
So here's Mazur for the kickoff, and it's an onside kick. And McKinley's got it, but their flag's down. McKinley has the ball on their own 49. It was recovered by Isaac Brooks. Jackson might have been offside. And unfortunately, that's a re-kick. I think I'd rather have the ball there and decline the penalty.
I think it was 48. I don't know if he knew he was offside, or was it? I think it was 48. Must have knew he was offside because he beat the ball down, and I was like, why don't you, jump on it right there? And I think he knew he was offside.
So they'll back it up to the 35. Jackson with the 5-yard penalty. Might as well try that a lot if it's just going to be a re-kick, and go ahead and go offside. That's the worst that could happen is now you got to kick it again. Here's a pooch kick to the far side. 1 bounce and taken up to the 30. That's Johnson. He's surrounded. Now he's pushing forward and gets out across the 35-yard line. So McKinley with good field position with 1:49 to go in the third quarter. McKinley 28, Jackson 21. Bulldogs coming out to the line of scrimmage with 16 on the play clock. They're going to go right to the line. Already having the play. Down to 10, down to 9. And they're not lined up yet. Down to 5. And they'll hand it off. There goes Johnson running right around the end. And he is banged out of bounds by Wormuth out about the 40-yard line, maybe the 41. Reardon had him low, and Wormuth got him high. Pickup of 6 on the play. 2nd and 4 here for the Bulldogs. From their 41, they lead 28-21, 1:43 left in the third. And what? Reset the play clock. Now we're ready to go. Again, both backs in there, Johnson and Hill. Johnson gets it and gets nothing. Knifing in was Van Reardon to make the tackle. We saw them run option on that play against Hoover. They scored the touchdown, the winning touchdown in overtime with the 2 backs in, faking to one and running the wide pitch to the other one. I don't know if they'd try that here, but as you say, Jackson is just storming to the center of the field.
Just slinging inside. If they get it outside a little bit, McKinley, you want to keep your foot on the pedal here. You want, this is a big drive for them to answer here, coming only up a score.
They're going to have to hurry. 3 on the play clock, 2. They get it snapped. Play action. Montgomery back on a loft it to the near side of the field, and it's incomplete, and a flag comes in. 2 flags come in. As Quincy went up for the pass, Cooper Geisinger, the defender, and you had 2 flags come in on the play.
Well, you always get the other official be your buddy no matter what. You'll get the first one, but he never turns his head. Good call. He was going for the ball. Yeah, watching the replay here, Jackson, he never went back to try to make any effort for the ball.
So the penalty puts the ball at the Jackson 44. 1st and 10 with 52 seconds to go in the third quarter. Again, the Bulldogs with both running backs in there, one on either side of Montgomery. 2 receivers right, one to the near side, and here's a blitz, and here's Johnson with the ball, and he's hit behind the line, but he's able to spin ahead and get a yard or so. Reardon was coming on the dead sprint from the secondary up to the line of scrimmage and timed it perfectly and got a hand on the ball carrier.
Yeah, you want to kind of maybe go on 2 here, change the cadence up, give them a hard count, but if you're not used to it, don't put it in now. Keep everything going, but, that's something you want to work on.
Second down and 9 on the Jackson 43. Last play of the third quarter. Back to throw. Montgomery going deep again to Quincy on the near side. He's got it at the 10, and he's going to score. And the big plays continue from Robert Fife Stadium. Quincy just went up and pulled that one away. And I think it was Geisinger trying to guard him again, and he went down after the catch. And it was Quincy cruising to the end zone. I don't know if that's a flag on the field or what that is, out at the 29. It is a flag, I think.
Sideline warning, maybe.
So it's an unsportsmanlike on McKinley, which will be on the kickoff. Now Antonio Hall is hot.
Yeah, he doesn't want that. I didn't see what happened. Maybe a little extra celebration there. You don't need that.
Extra point attempt here by Mankowski with 3 seconds. I said it was the last play, but not quite. 3 seconds left in the quarter as Mankowski's kick is up and through. So we'll keep it here for the final 3 seconds of the third quarter. It is now McKinley 35 and Jackson 21.
Yeah, 2 great balls there on that drive by Cam. The one with the interference call, which put the ball right where it needed to be. And the second one, and Quincy made a great play too. A little bit of hand battle there, one-on-one, and he just went up and got the ball. But like I said, you wanted to keep your foot on the pedal there. That's what you wanted to, some big plays there. So that's another nice answer for McKinley this second half.
And it's a 28-point quarter for the Bulldogs. And they scored on the first play of the half, on the kickoff return, and on the last maybe play from scrimmage of the quarter. On the pass from Montgomery to Quincy, who's been pretty quiet tonight, and all of a sudden makes a big play. A couple of them, actually. And so McKinley will kick off.
Sure, Quincy, he's a long receiver. Not real big, but just a very athletic young man, and 2 nice plays by him.
Malvern beats Louisville 42-14. Big Walnut up on Perry now 35-24 as the Panthers are trying to come back. 4 minutes left in that game down at Columbus. And McKinley will kick off from the 25 after the penalty. Sharpen those pencils. We still got a lot more to write down, I have a feeling. And the kick, a high short one. Calando all the way up at the 32. Coming to the near side. Chased down from behind at the 43-yard line. Brought down by Demir McClellan and by Dwayne Robinson. And that's the end of the third quarter. After 3 from Jackson. McKinley 35, Jackson 21. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Q92 Sports is your home for the best in high school and Mount Union football. Be sure to follow us all season long on our social media. Just follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop photos and videos from all of our football broadcasts, both high school and Mount Union. You can also see what games we'll be broadcasting week to week, and we always follow you back. Be sure to follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and stay connected to the Q92 Sports Network.
Well, we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter here from Robert Fife Stadium at Jackson Middle School. McKinley with 28 points in the third quarter and lead at 35-21 at the end of 3. They outscored the Polar Bears 28-7. And the long touchdown pass to Quincy, a couple of short runs. And the kickoff return to open the third quarter by Jamar Johnson. Jackson got the score on the long screen pass and run by Max Cowles. And as we wait out this TV timeout,
I see Coach Patterson down there with his offensive line. You know, keep on. They're doing a great job tonight for McKinley, and you can just see. This is the fourth quarter. This is what it's all about. You gotta. I know that's what Coach Rohr's telling them over there. This is their season. Seniors, this is the last time on the field, no matter what. But comes down to this fourth quarter.
So Malvern moves on tonight. Streetsboro beats Northwest 34-7. So their fine season comes to an end tonight. Nordonia leading Green after 3, 35-17. And Glenville up 13-0 on West Branch. And on the first play, Satterfield outside right, breaks a tackle and gets around the corner and gets big yardage to the McKinley 40. That penalty on the touchdown made it a much shorter field for the Polar Bears, and after one scrimmage play, they're in McKinley territory.
Satterfield might have been watching Henry run for the Ravens. He threw one of his stiff arms there and got rid of the defender easily.
2 receivers each way, 1 back on first down. Eckerman back to throw, setting up, throws down the middle, caught. Calando inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Polar Bears inside the R.G. Drake red zone. Demir McClellan on the stop. And just like that, the Polar Bears right back at it. Bulldogs not able to get any pass rush there on Eckerman. As on first down, he's going to throw the fade to the far side of the field, and it is broken up on the far side on the play by Xavier Harris. Working on Calando. He was a little slow to get up. Like he had it in his hands. The ball got knocked away. Don't know if he'd have been able to come down in bounds anyway.
Yeah, that would have been close. Great ball, put it right where it needed to be. Yeah, just got his hands up and broke it up.
So a nice play by Xavier Harris, who we hear more about playing offense. And again, they're going to reset the play clock to 25. And the Polar Bears will have a 2nd and 10 on the McKinley 18-yard line. Just underway in the fourth quarter. All you folks driving home from other games can enjoy this one. Here is a give off the right side. Satterfield trying to bounce around the end, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Back around the 19-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down now.
Yeah, McKinley, nice job there. It's keeping their containment and gang tackling there and bringing more bodies than what Satterfield could get away from that time.
3rd and 11. Jackson on the McKinley 19. They trail 35-21. Eckerman takes the snap, rolling to the near side, has lots of room, fires to the sideline and too high and incomplete for Cowles. Cutting to the sideline. He had him, just overthrew him. He did have a defender in between, and Shad Davis trying to get it over him and threw it over his receiver as well. So now it's 4th down, and looks like maybe the field goal team coming out here for Jackson. It would be 36 yards. Mazur, 11 of 13, 39 is his long. Calando holding. He's got to be aware of a fake here. Good snap, good hold. Kick on the way. It has the distance, and it is good. And I don't see any flags, so that is 3 more for the Polar Bears. But the Bulldogs with a moral victory there, not giving up the touchdown, and they still lead it by 11 with 10.5 minutes to go as Cooper Mazur continues his great season. The junior now 12 of 14 on field goals and 29 of 32 on extra points this season.
Yeah, like you've said, all season we've just seen some great place kickers in Stark County. Yeah, Coach Rohr just wanted to get some points there. That was 4th and long. Get some points. Get the defense back on that. Now you got to make the stop. You got to get their defense off the field here. You need 3 and out.
Maslin up now at Canal Winchester, 37-7 in the third. Nordonia leading Green 41-17. Halfway through the 4th, and after 3, Glenville 13, West Branch nothing. They have TV there too. Yeah, that game's taken a while as well, especially with not much scoring. So the Polar Bears get the field goal, and as you say, need the defense to step up here. McKinley with the kickoff return for score, but then 3 offensive touchdowns, both on the ground and through the air here in the second half. And they've looked about as good as we've seen them all season in the last 12 minutes of football.
Absolutely. And, McKinley, like I said, you want to keep that pedal on the gas here. You don't want to change anything up here. But, yeah, Jackson needs to get off the field here for sure.
We'll have a game for you next week. Of course, we won't know exactly who and where until Sunday. And that information will be available as soon as we come up with who's going to be where. And we'll have that for you on Instagram and X and Facebook and everywhere fine football information is found.
As TV timeout probably benefited McKinley a little bit. I imagine they went over onside kick, what to do, pop kicks. You want this front line to be just like shortstops, be ready to go and get on the ball. Let's get lined up here.
McKinley trying to get lined up, expecting maybe an onside kick. They have 5 up close, and it's going to be a line drive kick over the head of Johnson, and it's going to go into the end zone. So it could have worked out great for Jackson, but as it is, it's a touchback, and 1st and 10 on the 20. Bulldogs by 11 with 10.5 minutes to go. As we said in the pregame, Jackson beat McKinley 3 weeks ago, first time in 17 meetings. And Jackson has never been to the 3rd round of the playoffs. Montgomery with 2 men to his right, and they fake it to Hill, and coming this side on a pass reception is Johnson, and he makes the catch out to the 27, 28-yard line. 2 players still going at it after the play, but no flag. It was Geisinger for Jackson and Braden Early, one of the offensive linemen for the Bulldogs. But as it is a pickup of 8 on the short pass to Jamar Johnson.
This is a interesting formation by McKinley coming out here.
2 backs to the right of Montgomery, and they flip it out on the right to Hill, who makes the catch and shrugs off a tackler and takes it ahead, maybe for a first down. He's very close. They could have had him for about a 4 or 5 yard loss. But a great play by Nino Hill.
Interesting decision here by Coach Hall. What that does is basically Cam doesn't have to, run the ball. That just gives him the option to run in the zone if he wants to give it there, or basically where he would run, he's just dumping it off to the other back. So kind of just have Cam read what he wants to, but doesn't have to take any hits that way.
So Hill and Johnson lined up to the right of the quarterback in the pistol. This time they throw it to the near side, and it's caught at the 43, 44-yard line. Out of bounds goes Zay Lowry, who went up to make a nice catch. And again, some very imaginative stuff here from the McKinley offense. Not being too conservative, keeping the ball in the air. And they've run 4 or 5 different plays off that same formation.
It's just all zone read without really the quarterback reading it. I mean, he's reading it, but actually not having to run. Very interesting. It's odd. They both just stand there right beside him.
Hill and Johnson just to the right of the quarterback, standing beside him in the pistol. 3 receivers. This time Montgomery throwing far side and nearly had it picked. That pass was under duress as the Jackson player, Foster Stanley, came up the middle, throw a little high, and the receiver may have actually tipped it away from the defender. 9:31 to go in the fourth. McKinley 35, Jackson 24. Bulldogs 2nd and 10 on their 41. Wearing the all-white tonight. Jackson in the all-purple. Montgomery hands it off this time to Hill up the middle, lowers the shoulder. He's across the 50 to the 49. It's about 5 yards there. And McKinley will have a 3rd and 5 on the Jackson 49.
Yeah, I like this 2-back. And, late in the fourth quarter here, just pounding, run that clock.
Quincy out wide to the left. 2 inside him. Tight end to the near side right. It's actually an extra offensive lineman. Here's Hill up the middle, and not much room to run, and they got him wrapped up, and they throw him down after a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 4th down and about 4 for the Bulldogs on the Jackson 48-yard line. And the McKinley punt team will come on the field.
Number 11, Keith Quincy in punt formation. Back deep for Jackson, number 7, Nolan Colando, and number 10, Max Cowles.
Braden Early, the long snapper, over the ball. Quincy back only about 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap, no rush, and it's a terrible kick. He just bunted it down the field. It's rolling McKinley's favor, and it's going to stop right around the 20-yard line. Looked like he was trying not to kick it too hard.
Yeah.
And he almost missed the ball.
Yeah, and it got lucky. Jackson got lucky. He didn't hit one of their return men in the back because that ball was not in the air for more than 4 yards probably.
So Jackson will have it 1st and 10 on their 20 with 7:56 to go. Polar Bears down 11. Jackson comes back out to the line of scrimmage with Lucas Eckerman at quarterback. Colando to the near side, one out to the right. Satterfield to the right of the quarterback in the pistol. We have a tight end right, a wing left. Back to throw. Eckerman looking. Throws near side, caught by Stanley crossing the field, and he's bumped out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. Keegan Stanley, the junior, picks up about 7 or 8 yards on the play. Stops the clock with 7:49 to go.
Yeah, Ackerman stayed in the pocket once again and delivered a strike.
Polar Bears looking to the far side for the play. They have two receivers out to the far side right. Tight end right, wing left, one back. Satterfield as Eckerman rolls to the right, throws out in the flat, underthrown and incomplete.
Eckerman's pass is
Intended for Max Cowles. 2nd and 10.
For the Bulldogs, number 84.
I'm sorry, 3rd down and 2.
Kind of missed on a couple of these sprint outs here. You know, it's a tough throw. It looks easy, you know, you're out on the run, but you really want to point that shoulder downfield towards the receiver and get that ball out there.
Same formation with the receivers. This time they have the tight end and the wing to the right side. Nobody to the near side. Satterfield gets the handoff up the middle, and he stood up. They're pushing both ways. The linesmen are standing on the 30, and that should be a first down. He got very little, but that should be a first down, and it is. McKinley saying he never got to the stripe, but the linesman on the near side was running right down the line instantly. Clock running, 7:25 in the 4th quarter. Jackson trailing 35-24 with a 1st and 10 on their 30. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. 2 receivers each way. Wing left, back to throw. Eckerman, rush from the outside, gets away. Running far side, throws to the sideline and incomplete. Again, good coverage by Xavier Harris on the far side against Colando. And it'll be 2nd and 10. And we have a flag after the play. Two flags over there.
Yeah, both thrown at the same time. Get the free safety there.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, McKinley number 84. 15-yard penalty. Touchdown.
And now McKinley's going to get another penalty. They had 2 coaches out on the field yelling at their players.
Yeah.
And another flag came in. I don't know if this is going to be a penalty or not, but the ball's on the 40 now.
Yeah.
But just a player makes a play and he can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
And just make your play and get back to the huddle.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad they picked that last one up. Coach Hall was going after Xavier there, you know, coaching him up. And I think the sideline official thought he was yelling at the official, and they did the right thing picking that last flag up. But, yeah, you didn't need that first one for sure.
So it's 1st and 10 on the 45, and they'll give it to Satterfield over the right side, and he picks up a couple.
18 Christian Satterfield.
Tackle for McKinley by Antonio Stevens. 6:50 to go. Clock running. McKinley up 35-24. And Jackson with a 2nd and 8 on their 47. Not really showing any urgency right now, but still some time to go and 2 timeouts. One back as Eckerman back to throw. Rush up the middle. Deep throw far side and overthrown and incomplete. Again, Harris covering Colando and running with him stride for stride. And a flag. Where? I don't see that one. On the line of scrimmage. Oh, they picked it up. So no penalty there. 6:24 to go. 3rd and 8 for Jackson on their 47. McKinley with 28 third quarter points. They were down 14-7 at halftime. They led 35-21 after 3. Jackson with a field goal here in the 3rd, and now trying for more. Eckerman rolls near side. Has time, throws and broken up and incomplete. Defensive back Lance Long, a senior, steps in front of that pass and knocks it away. Nearly had the interception. And now it'll be 4th and 8 for Jackson on their 47. And decision time here for Jay Rohr. I don't know that it's that tough a decision. Nordonia beats Green tonight on the Sardis scoreboard, 42-17.
Yeah, rolling out to the left, right-handed quarterback. That's a tough throw there, too, on the sprint out. So I've liked them in the pocket most of the night.
5 wide, 4 to the right, 1 to the near side. Here on 4th and 8. Eckerman back to throw. 3-man rush. Steps up, loops it down the field, and it's caught. First down inside the 30-yard line. Colando makes the grab. Demare McClellan, pretty good coverage. But a well-executed play down to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, Polar Bears.
Yeah, Colando, that's what I'd like the middle of the field for him all night. Eckerman stands in the pocket and delivered a lot more comfortable in the pocket than getting outside. Colando just he just has great body control. He's just a great wide receiver.
6'2" and 200, a big one as well. He's to the near side as they have 2 receivers each way. Eckerman back, and this time he's going to go down. Huge pass rush by the Bulldogs. And Dante McClellan got there very quickly and brought down Eckerman back on the 35. That's a loss of about 7. And now we're under 5.5 minutes to go. Jackson down 11, 2nd and 17 on the McKinley 35, and looking to the far side for the play as the clock continues to tick away.
Yeah, Dante on that, he's a Division I football player. He ran through Satterfield and went right through the quarterback. Just a great play.
3 to the right, 1 to the near side. Eckerman rolling right side. Looking, throwing short, incomplete, intended for Cowles. Along the sideline, it would have been a very short gain if he had made the grab. So now it'll be 3rd and 17 with 5 minutes to go. McKinley up 35-24.
And nothing to take away from Satterfield. He just had a great block on that sprint out. It's just impossible sometimes when you're blocking the Division I end and you can't chop him in high school. It's almost impossible to make that block when he's coming at you.
Again, 3 out to the right. 2 to the near side. And Eckerman alone in the backfield on 3rd and 17. McKinley with 3 down linemen. Here they come. Throwing deep. Near side, man open. Caught inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. It's Keegan Stanley. Makes it 1st and goal for Jackson. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes seems like a lot. 1st and goal on the 5.
Oh, snap.
Bulldogs trying to get people in. I thought Jackson had substituted. And if they did, well, in any case, McKinley called timeout. They didn't have the right people on the field or were late getting them on. As Jackson went right to the ball after getting the pass down to the 5. So with 4:42 to go, McKinley takes their second timeout. They lead at 35-24, but Jackson in the R.G. Drake red zone. 1st and goal on the 5. Hoban has beaten Lake tonight, 21-14. Big Walnut defeats Perry, 35-24. So the Blue Streaks and the Panthers are out. Northwest is out. One of these teams tonight will be out. West Branch trailing Glenville in the 4th quarter. Malvern has advanced. And Jackson back to the line of scrimmage from the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. Down 11 with 4:42 to go. Satterfield behind Eckerman in the pistol. He gets the handoff, running right. A lot of room out there, cuts it up, and he's close, but they're going to call him short inside the 1-yard line.
Stop just short of the goal line.
Just a long stretch play there. He's running to the pylon and makes the cut where he needed to and just got stopped short.
The DB over there really took on that ball carrier. Threw his shoulder in there and made the stop just short of the goal line. This is cost another 20 or 30 seconds here for Jackson as they get lined up on the 1. And it's Satterfield, and he's going to be stopped short again. Yes, he is. They almost had him in the backfield. He spun away, and nearly fell into the end zone, but they stop him short again, and the clock continues to run. 3:55. Jackson needs 2 scores.
2 big defensive plays for McKinley here. Just keep that clock running.
It's time Satterfield to the left of his quarterback, and 2 wings to the left, 2 receivers to the left. Nobody out to the far side. Satterfield up the middle. No signal yet. Yes, he's in. Touchdown, Jackson. And the Polar Bears are within 5, and let's see if they go for 2
they're going to
here.
go for 2 here.
Yeah, kicking would only put them within 4. They'd
Yeah,
still
you
need
wanna
a
go for
touchdown.
2. Yep.
Going for 2 and missing here, you need a touchdown, but if you make it, you're within a field goal. And you have a very good kicker. So the Polar Bears with a 2-point conversion attempt here. Down 35-30 with 3.5 minutes to go. Eckerman with Satterfield to his right. 2 wideouts, 1 slot left. Handoff.
Reverse.
It's a reverse. He's going to pass it to the end zone, and it's caught by Cowles. He had Cowles and he had the quarterback out there, but he was covered. So he went to the second man, Max Cowles, for the 2-point conversion. And with 3:34 remaining, it's McKinley 35, Jackson 32. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
Final 3 minutes and 34 seconds of regulation from Robert Fife Stadium. McKinley leading Jackson 35-32. 3:34 remaining. Jackson still with 2 timeouts remaining. So we'll see if they go here for the onside kick. They tried one earlier and were offside on it. McKinley recovered it. Because they were offsides, they got to kick it again and ended up pooch kicking it. So we'll see if they go for the onside kick again here. Looks like Cooper Mazur is lined up to kick it directly at one side of the field. You got Quincy and you got Harris and you got.
You can't have 6 on one side. You got to have 5 and 5. That's rule came in a couple years ago, so you can't overpower them. It's a safety issue.
They also have Dre Wallace over there on the right side. So the hands team, there looks like they're going to kick to the right. Doesn't mean they're always going to do that. Here it goes, kick to the right, and it is covered by the Bulldogs right into the breadbasket of the outside man. They didn't get that high bounce. And Xavier Harris is the one who fielded it and held on to it. So McKinley, 3:33 away from victory. They'll be 1st and 10 on their own 48. Jackson still with 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, to go back real quick to that 2-point conversion. What a great pass by Kuntz. And I can just imagine, he probably heard Coach roar in the back of his head saying, throw it to the wideout, not the quarterback. And that's what he did. So, yeah.
So the quarterback was just a decoy.
The decoy, I'm going to say, yeah.
One back in here with Montgomery. It's Johnson behind Montgomery in the pistol. And the handoff up the middle. Johnson, 49-yard line. So he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4. And Jackson will hang on to that first timeout. It'll be 2nd and 7. Montgomery comes to the near side to get the play. He can run it down to about 250. before running this play. Ball on the Jackson 49, 2nd and 7. Bulldogs by 3 with just under 3 minutes to go. 2 on the play clock, 1. They hand it off. Up the middle, nothing doing for the ball carrier. And no timeout yet for Jackson, 2:35.
Yeah, we go back to what you said earlier when they had to waste that timeout on that first series.
Now, Montgomery is huddling with his 3 receivers on the near side with 15 on the play clock. Johnson still in there as the running back. Trips to the near side. 5 on the play clock. And they got the play off. And it's a run. And it's a big loss on the play. They were not ready to run that play. But the ball got snapped. And Johnson's tackled back on the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Jackson just beat him off the ball and just nowhere to go there. Just lucky they held on to the football there. Big play.
Yeah, you got a timeout.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could run it down, call your own timeout. And
they had the quarterback come to the sideline and get the play, and then he walked out and talked to his 3 receivers for a while. And then they all moseyed up to the line of scrimmage with 5 on the play clock. And so I don't know if half of the team really knew whether the play was going to get started or not. Antonio Hall started to signal for a timeout, but the ball was being snapped just as he did.
Yeah.
So Jackson called a timeout there to stop the clock with 1:59. McKinley with a 4th and 12 on their own 46.
Let's see if we can get the punt off this time. Last punt was not very successful. Put a little pressure on maybe if you're Jackson, but they got too deep, so I might just set up a return here.
Colando and Cowles back around the 25-yard line. Quincy standing back on his 31. Needs a good snap. Gets it. No rush. Nice kick. Nice kick. Cowles, fair catch. Back on the 16-yard line. 38 yards on the punt, no return, and so Jackson will start on their 17 with 1:52 to go and 1 timeout, trailing by 3.
You know, Jackson's had success, in the middle of the field throwing the ball, but, you don't have many shots you can do that here with just minute 52 and 1 timeout, so they're going to have to be able to get the ball, some of these sideline completions and stop the clock.
And here they come out with the formation we saw earlier, only to the left side. 4 receivers to the near side, 1 out to the right. Eckerman alone in the backfield. Rush coming, back to throw. Hit as he throws and incomplete. They were throwing for Colando on the slant from the far side, the only receiver over there, and the pass was overthrown as Colin Hinkle got in there again and hit the quarterback as he was letting go of the ball.
Yeah, he was wide open there. He just couldn't step into the, like you said, he got the pressure, couldn't step into the pass and just overthrew it.
2nd and 10 for Jackson on their 17 with 1:48 to go. Syme trips to the near side, 2 out to the right. Eckerman alone in the backfield. 3-man rush. Quick pass over the middle. There's Cowles on the screen. He's to the 20. He's to the 25 and down on the 26, 27-yard line. He's going to be close to a first down, but apparently short. It'll be 3rd and 1. Clock still running, 1:31. 3rd and 1. Polar Bears need to get lined up. Well, again, empty backfield. Eckerman back, looking, steps up, and he's sacked on the 26. Got to take your timeout here, and they do. Jackson takes their last timeout with 1:10 to go, and they will have it 4th and 1 on the 26-yard line. So not really a sack and no gain on the play. And the one thing you really couldn't do there was try to run it and get tackled in the field. So now no timeouts. And 1:10 to go. McKinley up by 3. With 7-all after 1. 14-7 Jackson at halftime. 35-21 McKinley after 3. Jackson with a field goal and a touchdown and 2-point conversion here in the 4th.
Yeah, they got to get the first down here, then get the first down, get on the ball right away, and, and spike it. But you got to be able to pick this first down up, no doubt. So they could still have an opportunity to run, but you got to make sure those wideouts don't go downfield real far if this is going to be a run. Get back at the line of scrimmage so you get the spike.
4th and 1, Jackson. Satterfield in the backfield. McKinley flinches, but not into the neutral zone. They were trying to get him to jump offside there. They switch the running back to the right. Satterfield gets it, and he's through for a first down and more into the secondary, and he's out to the 45-yard line.
You got first down to stop the clock here.
The clock never ran. It still says 1:05. It hasn't been running, and it never did run. The clock didn't run on that play.
It didn't.
So they got a free play there with the clock, and they're out to the 45. 1st and 10. 50 seconds. Eckerman back to throw. Being chased. Sacked back on the 40 by Dior Garner.
Huge play.
3 against 5, and Garner gets the sack.
Wideout's got to get back. He's not going to be set. That's going to be a penalty. They got to throw the flag there. You got to throw the flag. There you go.
And that will be a flag as the deep receiver, who was Micah Regibald, came back and got past the line of scrimmage, but really wasn't set when they snapped the ball to spike it. And a flag came from the near sideline, and that's going to be 5 against the Polar Bears. And now with 35 seconds, Jackson with a 2nd and 15 on their own 35, down by 3.
Clock should start. They need to get on the ball here.
Yeah, clock's running.
Yep.
Jackson with no timeouts. Eckerman rolling right, throws to the sideline and throws it out of bounds. Incomplete. 3rd down and 20 with 22 seconds to go. So they had the sack and then the penalty. And with 22 seconds, Jackson with a 3rd down at 20 from their 35. 3 receivers right, 1 to the near side. Satterfield to the right of his quarterback. And it's a different quarterback back there running around, now throwing over the middle. Did he catch that ball? No, incomplete. On the 47, Carter Newman is in at quarterback right now for Jackson. I don't know if he has the bigger arm or if there's something wrong with Eckerman.
Yeah, that last throw by Eckerman on that sprint really was kind of off and to the right high. Looks like he's holding his shoulder over there on the sideline.
Yeah, Eckerman's on the sideline. And Carter Muhlman, a sophomore, with a 4th and 20 on his own 30, 35. Back to throw. He's rushed. Throws deep far side, overthrown and intercepted.
Get down, just get down.
It's Xavier Harris coming back to the near side. Still running with it, and a flag down as Harris is down, and you got flags coming from everywhere. McKinley's going to win the game. But there's going to be a penalty here on this return. Like you said, if Harris just gets down on the field.
You got to get down there. You don't need anything. You don't need a fumble. But you got, I think, a legal block, and then they hurdle him there at the end. And I always tell those running backs, you watch it on TV, you see those guys hurdle, but you can get hurt hurdling, and that's the last thing you want going into the next round.
And by the way, Carter Muhlman does have quite an arm.
Yeah, that ball was. Yeah, that was. And that's a tough situation coming off the sideline cold. And
so McKinley with a 3-point lead with 2 seconds to go. They have the ball after the interception. And Xavier Harris, I don't know how much, I haven't seen him play much defense this year, but he's been very good at the corner position.
Yeah, it played really, really well there tonight. Had one tough penalty, that could have done without, but besides that, great game.
So the penalty will back McKinley up to their 29-yard line, but 2 seconds. They can just take a knee here. And this one will be over. Montgomery in the pistol. Takes the snap, takes a knee, and that'll do it. Final score from Robert Fife Stadium. Canton McKinley 35, Jackson 32. We'll come back to start the wrap-up after a timeout. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Who rides SARTA? You do. You, your neighbors, coworkers, and the people behind you in line at the grocery store. Our riders are moms, dads, students, retirees, and commuters. To help persons with disabilities, our ProLine countywide service picks them up and takes them direct to their destination. SARTA riders tell us they appreciate all the places we take them and how we help the community. That's how you get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
Since 1962, DeHoff Realtors has been a cornerstone of the Jackson community. Proud supporters of the Jackson local schools, we're committed to helping our neighbors buy and sell homes with expertise and integrity. Visit us at dehoff.com or call us at 330-499-8153. And let's champion your next move together. Go Polar Bears! DeHoff Realtors, your championship team in real estate dedicated to serving the Jackson community with pride.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Back here at Robert Fife Stadium, and the McKinley Bulldogs have won an epic battle here in round 2 of the playoffs, beating the Polar Bears by a score of 35-32. The big 28-point third quarter was the difference. And let's see. I have no idea if these are the updated stats, but the most recent stats we had were McKinley with 19 first downs to 17, 54 plays to 49, total yards 398 to 354, 13 of 17 passing, 209 for McKinley with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Bulldogs 37 carries, 189 yards, and 7 penalties for 75. Jackson, 354 yards, 226 through the air. Or 226, through the air on 9 of 20, and 128 yards on the ground on 29 carries, 63 of that coming on 1 play. 1 turnover for the Polar Bears. And what was just a crazy game here tonight at Robert Fife Stadium. Huge plays, bonehead plays, very good fundamental plays, just a little bit of everything here tonight. And I thought coming into this game, everybody should be mentally and emotionally ready for this game. I had no idea who was going to be the better team tonight, and it was basically just whoever made the most plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at Jackson, great season. They bought into Coach Rohr. This is going to be a dangerous team from now on, in the Federal League. And they had a lot of fight in them. They never gave up right down to the wire. And, punches were thrown back and forth on both sides. But McKinley came and answered the bell. I mean, that third quarter, when they play mistake-free football, they're one of the best teams in the state. I mean, they have athletes, they have the players, and when they play, just smart football, it doesn't have to be perfect. They have weapons, and they use that tonight. And and I think, we talked in the pregame show, the Massillon game, keeping that close in the second half, and that's kind of what they did again tonight. It's a nice win, and they're a dangerous team the rest of the way out. Great ball game.
Looks like Mentor next week.
Yes.
The Mentor Cardinals, who have knocked out McKinley more than once in the playoffs. And those two will meet again, I imagine, somewhere maybe in Cuyahoga County or maybe Summit County. We'll have to wait and see. We'll find out Sunday, I guess, where that game will be. But before we go tonight, we'll let you know about the rest of our local teams. Glenville beats West Branch tonight 13-0. Big Walnut over Perry 35-24. Massillon 37. Canal Winchester 7. Nordonia 42. Green 17. Malvern 42. Lowellville 14. Streetsboro beat Northwest 34-7. So only the Bulldogs and the Tigers, I believe, other than Malvern, left in the area. So, as you said, a great season for Jackson and Jay Rohr. That's a program that's on the ascent, it seems like to me.
Yeah, absolutely. They bought in this program. I was talking to someone. They have over 400 youth kids in their youth program playing tackle football. So, they have the kids here. It's one of the largest districts in the state. And, he's a fireball and he's ready to go. But, another shout out to Coach Hall. It was some stuff about him all week, and he's a great individual. He's a great man for this program, and he showed it tonight for sure.
All right, that'll do it from here at Robert Fife Stadium. Thanks to Ryan Bevere down on the field. Of course, be looking for his stuff, his photos and videos and interviews and all that from during and after the game. That'll be on online all week. Right now, he's throwing passes to the kids out on the field. So he can do a little bit of everything, can Ryan Bevere. So thanks to Ryan. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg back in the studios. To my partner, Brian Beatty. My name is Clint Scroggs. Again, our final tonight. Canton McKinley 35, Jackson 32. You've been listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.